Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Nick here, and welcome back to the channel. My apologies if my voice is shot. It's because of my allergies. They've been kind of flaring up really badly lately, so sorry if I sound very off. I am actually just very excited as well to be on stream with you all too, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the people who came in here already. Thank you so much for participating and being a part of this stream. Can everyone hear me okay besides the raspiness that there is? Just want to say hi to the people in the chat real quick. Oddity, it's good to see you. Ethan Parks Films, hello there. General Kenobi to you too. We got a birthday shout out from Cassidy, thank you. And then we also have Why Are We Always Yelling? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wish there. Same to Joshua Gorski. Appreciate it a ton. We will be revealing how old I am turning when we get to the actual... I have, you can see... Oh, actually, I can point that way and you'll see. So we have two tabs open. One of them, we're going to be doing a build the roster for my hypothetical Marvel vs. Capcom 4. And then the topsters next to it is going to be a fun thing of putting together a top list of all of my favorite games from every year I've been alive. I'll go through what makes every single one of them so special, and hopefully I sold you on wanting to check them out. All right, AV's good. That's good to hear. Kelly Drady, I'm doing good. Besides the Michigan weather being what it is, flip-flopping constantly, messing with my allergies, I'm doing good. And thank you. Darko, hello, Nicholas or Nick, your favorite half Native American. Thank you. Happy birthday, blessing, all your health and happiness. That really means a ton. Thank you. Oh, damn, that blows. Sorry to hear about the allergy sick. Yeah, it does. It literally was like one day it would be like plugged ears, then it would be like a messy nose, and now it's the throat, and then coughing. It's been fun. My guess is 35 or 36. I'm just going to let you remember that. That's all I have to say. Kelly Drady and Ethan Park Films, remember that. Lego Master, happy birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. All right. I guess we'll just get right into it. I will try and put some background music here and there just so we can have something playing in the back. Now, the fun thing is just trying to figure out like if this audio is just right, because I don't want this to be super loud. Or too crazy or anything like that. Oh geez, I forgot it's video game music too, so it's going to be a little... some of them might be licensed, so this could be a nightmare for the stream at least. But, you know what, we'll just play it safe and we'll just get right to... which one is this? Oh, a new video dropped on your channel. Well, that's cool. Cassidy, making more guesses. Are people just making bets on how old I'm turning? That's kind of adorable if that's the case. Everyone can hear the music okay? Oh, you have one too, Ethan Park? I'll be sure to check it out after this stream. Yeah. Let me turn down the music just a little bit more. If anyone doesn't know what this is from, this is music from, Final Fantasy VII the remake, and I'm going to just repeat this one track because it's just nice mellow music that we can listen to. It's not too aggressive or anything, but when we get to the next talking points, I will change up the music at least. All right, I feel enough time has passed. Let's get into building the roster for what my hypothetical Marvel vs. Capcom 4 would look like. Now, I know that this is something that people have done in the past of just like, hey, here are some characters I would like to see now that there is a Marvel vs. Capcom collection coming out, which it's now already out. If you haven't played it, it's a lot of fun. I love Marvel vs. Capcom too. But now that there's Marvel Tokon, that's a thing, it's like, all right, now the chances of us getting a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is a little less likely. But I like Marvel Comics, and I like Capcom as gaming lately. I definitely want to do something where I'm like, let me just build a roster of me being a Marvel fan, me being a Capcom fan, what that would look like. Uncommon oddity, do not spoil any surprises. You are getting somewhere. I also want Leon. So yeah, let's just say we live in a world, we peek into one of the 13 million multiverses, and we go into the one where Marvel vs. Capcom 4 happens. This is the one that I'm gonna try and go off of. This is the one that I hope would be real. I did make a few notes here. Like I made a little roster of my own of like who I thought would be fun for like base roster, DLC, and then knowing that they do these like expansive, like an ultimate version to kind of close out the game. I was just gonna do that. Perfect health. But yeah, so we're gonna do 20 from Marvel, 20 from Capcom. It just seems like it makes sense to do it that way. I don't think we're gonna get anything like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where there were like 60 characters or something, and it was even rumored for Marvel Infinite that we were supposed to have 50, but that didn't happen. So we're gonna go through this entire list organized by this one user of all of these expansive Marvel and Capcom characters, and then we're gonna put together a list of people on the Marvel side, the Capcom side, and then just DLC. Because some people are going to scream, these are base roster characters. Some of these are going to scream, these are just DLC characters. And then some of you are going to be like, who the hell is Egghead over here? But anyway, so we're just going to get right into it. And I guess we'll start with, we'll go back and forth constantly where it's like, all right, yeah, we have, we'll go Marvel and then Capcom, Marvel then Capcom. This is not going to be the most easy of picks too, because I'm gonna have to choose some unique characters here and there. Like, we're gonna have to cut some people because I like realistically, it's like, yeah, we're not gonna have like every single Spider-Man in here because like we're just gonna have one of them. So I guess if we're gonna kick this off the easy way, we're gonna go and pick our obvious picks here already. Excuse me. Yeah, that name Leon does sound familiar. You're gonna know who he is eventually. I'm gonna go, and this is how you know we're gonna set things off correctly. Alright, I do have to put him on here first. I know I already broke my first rule saying that I was gonna start with Marvel, but I mean, come on, he's literally in every single one. The series started as a Marvel superheroes, and then it became Marvel or X-Men versus Street Fighter. So yeah, Ryu's got to be there. And then just quickly go into the Marvel side. Who does have to be there? I don't care what anyone says. This is how you know that things are going right. They got to be the first two characters we see in like any announcement trailer. Sean Cena, thank you for coming. Happy birthday. To me, oh geez, I'm losing my mind. Yep, so Wolverine and Ryu have to be the first two characters we see in any marketing, any promos, so we know that, yep, it's a celebration of X-Men and Street Fighter, literally what kicked things off. And then moving on from there, the next obvious pick is, the rain is kicking in so hard I can hear it hitting my window. This is another obvious pick. Chun-Li, she's got to be there too. And then right next to Chun-Li, on the Marvel side, come on, they're not gonna exclude him at all. He literally is Marvel at this point. It's Spider-Man. Wolverine and Spider-Man are like the two big Marvel characters that have to be there. If not, then it's just weird. And then Ryu and Chun-Li have to be there. Yeah, no, I think if they did like a Logan costume, that would be cool. But I do love the yellow spandex look on him, and I love the alternate color where it makes him X-Force. So yeah, I think that's something. All right, yeah, don't worry, I am reading your comments because we can change this up. I do have your unhinged picks, so we can put random ass people in here too. That's just based on everything that you guys want. Now moving on to picks number 3 for both sides. Biff Slamovich, what? I swear, some of these Capcom characters seem like they're just made up people that I've never heard of. I just lost him. There he is. Captain America, he has to be there on the Marvel side. I feel like he's... If you're going to have like any of the core Avengers, you do need to have Captain America. I think he'd be just perfect to fit in here. Sean Cena, just seeing your comment, it makes me think of it. Negan, he does feel like a very odd pick for Tekken, but if there's one game that I think that Negan perfectly fits in, where he can be himself, it's Dead by Daylight. I'm surprised they didn't put him in when they announced the Dead by Daylight and Walking Dead crossover. I'm surprised that he was not the character. Zuno, thank you for coming, and I see that you're putting Mega Man X. Ethan Park Films, I see you're putting Venom. Alright, next on the Capcom side, because it started with him and it felt weird that he wasn't there, he does have to be here, and I don't care what anyone says. This is a very goofy picture of him. I know people are going to complain that it's too many Street Fighter characters, but literally the series started with Akuma. He literally was in, what was it? X-Men Children of the Atom. So yeah, I think that he definitely deserves a spot being in here. Oddity, you are putting a really good pick in there. I honestly was thinking when I was drafting this originally, like, yeah, I think that seeing Luna Snow as a fighting game character would be really cool. And you're not the only person, like when I was looking around at other rosters, people building them, a lot of people were putting Magic as like a potential sword user. I'm like, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I think that would be, those would be some cool characters too. Albert Wesker would be a decent pick for Capcom. Yeah, he was in 3. He was really good. Unfortunately, the actor who plays him, Ken Lally, sadly passed away a few years ago, so they'd have to get like a different VA for that one. Now moving on to our next Marvel pick. I know we just saw it. We just had Captain America, one of the main core Avengers. Why not another one? This makes sense. We need Iron Man in there. I actually like him a lot as an Avenger in the movies, and I also just liked him in the Marvel games. I actually replayed Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite recently. Yeah, so I actually do like him. I know that Ethan Park Films just put Rip in there. Yeah, but he's definitely going to be there. He's a moneymaker. We're going to put Robert Downey Jr. in there as well. And then on the Capcom side, this is where we're getting our first big hang up, because this is going to be very divided. I'm going to put both up, and then I kind of want to figure out where we go from here. I'm going to find the first one here and then get the second one. I forgot they put it between Mega Man and X. They switch them up. Okay. Which one do we go with? I think only one of these makes base roster, and I think at this point we only have one that makes it. Only one of these guys will make it. We either have Mega Man or Mega Man X. Personally, I think because we have Dual Override coming out in 2027, that's why I'm leaning towards Mega Man, regular Mega Man. But X was a lot of fun in MVCI, even though that the issue is that it was MVCI. Okay, I see a lot of people are just going Mega Man. I'm just gonna go Mega Man. Alright. I do see a few other people asking if I've seen Invincible. I have not yet. I do want to see it. It's on my list. Krauser. Oh, Krauser would be cool. And yes, Kelly, I did see your comment about Nightcrawler. That would be a good one. And asking if I should stream Dead by Daylight. I would love to do that again sometime soon. It's been a long time. Ada Wong would be cool too. But I do have a few Resident Evil characters I want to highlight in here. Which, by the way, if you have not played Resident Evil 9, go do it. It's so good. Uncommon Oddity, shout out to him in the chat. He also did a really good review of RE9, so you should check that out too. There you go. Moving on to the next Marvel character. I'm sorry, I looked down the list and I'm like, this is literally just what is it, Avengers characters at the moment. So I'm sorry if you guys are sick of it, but I'm sorry. Where is he? Hunk. No, it's not Hunk. Wait, where the hell is he? Oh, there he is. We have a big guy. We need the big, mean, green fighting machine, Shrek himself, Hulk, Bruce Banner. I think he definitely deserves to be here. You need to have a big, bulky, brute dude. I just looked over at the comment and it destroyed my train of thought. The whole wild card out of nowhere with Senator Armstrong. That'd be great. Yeah, good pick there. You have Peyton. I think I'm just gonna stick with Marvel and Capcom. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna stick with Marvel and Capcom for this. It's fine. Marvel is basically the Avengers at this point. Yeah, no joke with Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. They literally were telling people like, yeah, no one knows who the X-Men or the Fantastic Four are, and meanwhile I'm over here like, what? That is like the dumbest thing you could have said. To answer your question, yes, Lego Master, Alex is the newest Street Fighter 6 character added. He debuted in Street Fighter 3 New Generation. He's literally inspired by Hulk Hogan, down to the gold hair, but they removed the racism. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much we have some of our core Avengers here, plus just Hulk. And then who would I have next for... Oh, someone was literally saying this earlier. Yeah, this is another one of those, like, yeah, they gotta be here. They've been in every single one, so having them not here would be weird. And why am I having a hard time finding them? Mother Miranda. Oh, there she is. Funny enough, I've gone to a couple of cons in the Detroit and Michigan area. And the funny thing is that I spoke with people who have cosplayed Morrigan, and I'm like, oh yeah, are you a fan of Darkstalkers? And half the it's either a 50-50. Either they're like, yeah, I know of her from Darkstalkers, but I play her mainly in Marvel vs. Capcom, or they're like, oh, I know her from Marvel vs. Capcom. So it's like one of the two. No matter what, it just comes back to MVC in the end. Mother Miranda would be a cool DLC character. I think I'd just choose other Resident Evil characters over here. Do you think Mortal Kombat Street Fighter mix would be good? I don't want it, honestly. I hate to say, I don't really want it. Tronbon from Mega Man Legends. She was cool in MVC 3. I liked her a lot in that. I speak for everyone when we say we all want Ethan Winters. Yeah, and the whole game is just him with the gun like this. So we're never allowed to see his face at all. He gets his superpowers, he gets his limbs cut off, and then he just sprays juice on them. And then they all just grow back. Meanwhile, you never see his face. This is literal Ethan Winters gameplay in a fighting game. So anyway, that's my pitch if they ever want to do Ethan Winters in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. So there we go. How are we thinking of this list so far? Is this good so far? Are you liking it? Are you satisfied? Sorry if I hurt your heart, Miranda, Cassidy. I'm sorry if that hurt. With Thanos be on the list, I'm not gonna reveal what's behind the magician's thing. Here's the thing, not the Fantastic Four thing. I'm assuming for your Resident Evil, you're gonna pick Leon, Chris, Jill, and maybe Wesker. Oh, thank you. I also appreciate that. The fact that it's been so damn long that we have not had a Darkstalkers that people don't even know where she comes from. That is crazy. It's also crazy that There was that stream that Max did a long time, or was that podcast episode that Max was on, and he talked about how, like, oh yeah, there was supposed to be a Darkstalkers that was supposed to come out in the early 2010s. It just never happened. Someone, oh, here's the thing. It's the Fantastic Four joke. I get it now. Yeah. Thanks, Living Room Sports. I just wanted to have fun with my community today. That's all. Appreciate you coming out and checking it out. I don't really play Capcom games, so I don't have an opinion. You should check out a few. I will have a few recommendations. But yeah, let's just move on to the next Marvel pick. It was a shame that this guy was not in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Or not 3, 4, Infinite. But because of, you know, just where things are going, we have the Avengers Doomsday coming out. He's definitely going to be like the next big bad in this thing. Yeah, it's going to be Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom perfectly makes sense. Life as a Darkstalkers fan is a pain. Yeah, that's kind of a disappointment. Yeah, it's kind of a disappointment. It's like how I felt with Dead Rising for a long time after 4 came out. I'm like, yeah, they're never making another one of these. This is sad. Or as an Evil Dead fan until Evil Dead Rise. I'm like, yeah, they're never making another Evil Dead movie. Then the movie came out. Robert Downey Jr. is on there twice. If I put Black Panther on, he'll be on there 3 times. Which is crazy. Yeah, Doom, I think, just perfectly fits. I also just like the finger lasers. I like the plasma beams. I just want to see him do a foot dive in Avengers Doomsday. If he doesn't do that, I'm leaving the theater. But obviously, after I watch it, I don't want to waste my money. Just not finishing the movie. Next on the the Capcom side. Another character that's been in every single one, and it makes sense for them to be there. Can't tell if they're going to be in the H or in the S section. Let's see. They're definitely in S, I feel. Oh, here they are. Yeah, Strider, we need a weird ninja character. Hey, Black Knight, thank you for showing up. Yeah. Strider, he's been in all the MVC games. Definitely deserves a spot. I also just love him. If you've never played Strider on the Genesis or Strider 2014, please do it. It's so underrated and it's so good. You won't regret it. It's like $15 or something like that. One of the times that Capcom has outsourced something and it was actually super successful and it was actually a good quality product. Yeah, so and outside of that, Strider's gameplay is also just fun in these games. So I recommend that you check that out sometime soon. Okay, because I see a few people talking about it and it's funny that he is on my list, I'm just going to throw him on here. Not Deacon or Damned or Dan. Sorry, Dan Hibiki, but this is the real Dan that we need with the TE after that. That is Dante. I think that ever since we've had him in MVC 3 and Infinite, and knowing that Devil May Cry is one of Capcom's most popular properties, he's going to be in every single one of these games if they're ever made. Dante, like, pretty much lives in the... will now live from now on inside the MVC universe. What about Ken? I think he's Capcom. Ken is Capcom, and I hate to say this, I don't think I want him in here. Like, I like Shinryu Reppa and stuff like that. I just don't think that, like, he already kind of plays similar to Ryu, and the fact that Akuma is already... We have 2 Shotos in the game. We have Ryu and Akuma. If we have a third one, it's just kind of... We don't need a third one at that point. But yeah, Dante, I do feel like he is a mainstay moving forward. Now for the Marvel one, this is another one of those ones where they haven't been in a Marvel game since MVC 2. And what got me to love her a lot was Demon Days by Peach Momoko, which is a Marvel comic that's really good. I recommend checking it out. Peach Momoko's Demon Days. It's like a retelling of like X-Men characters. And I like this character a lot in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Marvel Rivals. I thought I just passed her name entirely. No, I didn't. And there she is. Psylocke. She needs to come back in these games, dude. She's just awesome in general. I'm also a Psylocke player in Marvel Rivals, so so yeah, I do definitely want to see her in the next MVC. And if they somehow are able to like recreate that biker look that she has in Marvel vs. Capcom, in like a Marvel vs. Capcom art style, that would be awesome. But anyway, Psylocke definitely needs to make a return in the next game. Psylocke, baby girl, please return to MVC. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous for the MK2 movie because I remember the last time I got a live action sequel, cough cough, Annihilation. Oh my god, there's actually a funny story I learned about Annihilation. So, the reason that the movie fell apart is that the studio actually promoted everyone who worked on the last one to a higher position. So the guy who did the director of photography became the director of this new movie, and he never directed a movie in his life. And because they wanted to push Mortal Kombat, because 4 was coming out and so was Mythologies, they wanted to push as many characters in so people could see it. And they were focusing more on like, yeah, we want to have as many fight scenes because people like the fight scenes. But you'd think that they would take a note like from Street Fighter and from the previous movie, like, hey, there are way too many characters in Street Fighter, let's tone it down. The CG doesn't look good in Mortal Kombat, let's dial that down. No, they just double the hell down into it. So we have like this really weird looking like terrible CGI that looks like it's not like it looks like it came out of like the CDI or whatever. But the reason why it looks so bad is because they did test screenings for that movie in like a theater, and apparently a lot of the fans were super high or something. So they were cheering the whole time, and someone spoke with some of the producers saying that, yeah, hey, we still need to do like another wave of editing and like finish up the movie. And the producer, I'm pretty much essentially said, or he pretty much said to the team, it doesn't matter, listen to the crowd, they're just gonna eat this up, let's just throw it in the theaters. So literally, they didn't even finish the movie, they just sent it out in theaters because the test screening was so positive. Full of a room of people who were definitely on drugs. So, there's why that happened. I have way more faith in MK Annihilation. I feel like it's going to be fun. I think that it'll be a good time. And based on what I've heard from someone who actually got to see an early screening, they already said it's better than the first one. So once that also comes out, I'll be sure to do a fun review of that. Maybe a live stream where I can do a talk along where it's like, hey, the first half will be spoiler free. Then the second half will be spoiler filled. So I'd love to talk more about that soon. But yeah, that's the story of Annihilation and how it just fell apart. It's really funny. And of all the characters that they did film but didn't include, Quan Chi was supposed to have a very small cameo of like someone like, is that right? Quan Chi, and then the camera spins to Quan Chi laughing and then goes back to the scene. So they skipped out on one character not making it in the movie. We could have had the dude whose face is plastered on the side of the MK thing. I'll get tickets so we can join the watch along. That'd be fun. That'd be awesome. I'll just like set up a stream setup in the theater so we can all watch it together. Treat it like Mystery Science Theater or something. What were we doing again? Something about Marvel and Capcom? Marble and Capcom. Alright, and speaking of other unique characters from Marvel Rivals, and apparently someone that Capcom pushed for but Marvel said no, it's a newcomer, and I would like to see her in a Marvel game, but I hope she's not super sexualized like she is in Rivals. I think she'd be a fun joke character, but I'd like to see what they could do with Squirrel Girl. Yeah, Squirrel Girl I think would be a fun character in this. So yeah, I would like to see her in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. That would be a pretty fun, that'd be a fun decision if they could make that. Yeah, oh yeah, back to Annihilation. Yeah, that movie is not so bad, it's good. To borrow a phrase from Cinemassacre, it's so shit, it's great. Oh, and then speaking of newcomers, Capcom side, all of you fans, like a treat from McDonald's, you're gonna get happy. We need our boy Leon. We really need our boy Leon. Leon, I think it's Leon's turn to be in a Marvel game. I was so disappointed when he wasn't in MVCI, because we already knew that the remake was a thing. But the fact that he hasn't been in a Marvel or even a Capcom All-Stars fighting game or anything like that is beyond like astonishing. But no, like the fact that I just want to see him in there, like his snapback animation where you send the person out and then a new person comes in could literally just be his roundhouse. I love the fact that his grab could literally just be like a suplex or something. I'd be down for that. His super move, I don't know what it would be. Maybe something with like his RPG with like the red tip on the end. He almost made it MVCI? Oh my god, that hurts so much more. Oh. As much as I have a love-hate relationship with MVCI, I think that's what hurts the most. It feels like feels like Julius Caesar getting a stab in the back. You're just getting backstabbed. It's so bad. Darkos, I do see that you see we need more villains. Peyton Hall, in my opinion, Black Panther never needs to come back as a character. I don't think so. I mean, they've seen him do Leon with a back snapback. That's good. I think we can do Black Panther moving forward. They did a good job with him in Rivals. They always know how to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman and still make it feel like it's his own thing, like especially with Black Panthers moving forward. So yeah, I'd say that if it's supposed to be like a mimic or like a style of Chadwick Boseman without, you know, the fact that Chadwick Boseman has passed away, he's no longer with us, I think that would be like, we can't do that, so I think just try a different interpretation of Black Panther instead moving forward. That's what I would do at least, and that's what I think would be the right call. I see a lot of people just happy about Leon in here too. And speaking of Leons in the chat right now, excited about Leon. I guess you could say it's quite the storm of excitement. Please clap. Strider Hean. Why can I not find her? Steven Chapman, what the hell? Why can I not find her? Oh, I completely missed her. Yeah, Storm. Storm would be awesome to come back. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to bring back Black Panther with AI. They have a really good voice actor, the one that did him in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Rivals. He's a really good one. Oh, they also had, is it Christopher Judge that did him in the Avengers game? That was a good portrayal of the character. I'm guessing you're 20-something. What number is something? I'm curious to know what you think. Then at least Krauser, Wesker, Nemesis were in the previous games, and my fave of RE4. Sadly a bit ruined in the remake, but would be a nice villain character. Thank you, Shadow Realm Gauntlets. That means a ton. What about Thor? I'm gonna splash some cold water, Comic Book King. I don't think we need Thor. I'm gonna be real. I do not think we need Thor. He's just like the one character where I'm like, I don't think we need him really. He wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or 2. He did show up in, he only showed up in 3 and Infinite, and then the only time he ever showed up in 1 is when you could get like a random assist character that could come in and help. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need Thor. We can think about that later though. We'll think about it, but for now, I don't think we need Thor. That's just me. Unless they want to revise him and make him like I don't want to say more like MCU Thor, but like have both 2 of his things. Yeah, we should get Jack Baker. That would be cool if like Jack Baker was like in more games. Honestly, I don't know. That would be interesting. Jack Baker would have been an awesome one. Peyton Hall, I'm just gonna say yes. She just hates gore in general. I tried showing her Evil Dead when we first started dating. 2. Evil Dead 2, the funny one. And she got a little uncomfortable with that. But we did watch what's it called? Jennifer's Body, which is just really funny. How old is Nick, guys? Who's Nick, guys? I'm just messing with you. Who do I have next on the Capcom side? Another character that just on the topic of, it's more heroes. We're gonna get to villains, don't worry. But the next person I think that should come back, and also I want to see her like more of her classic self, not the battlesuit one we got in 3. Thank you, Josh Sauer. Appreciate it. Yeah, just skip the first one. Just go right to Evil Dead 2 AMA. Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, Jill Valentine. I think she needs to be in a Marvel game again. But make her make her the Stars one, not Battlesuit. From RE5. Make it where she can like use zombies, have the missile launcher. That'd be awesome. Army of Darkness is actually we did watch that together. She didn't like it that much. But yeah, Army of Darkness is a fun one too. I actually got to meet Bruce Campbell last year, and I'm actually gonna meet him I'm actually gonna see him again in June. So that'll be exciting. Josh, that is a hell of a guess. You are, let's just say you're close. And speaking of just fun Capcom characters that I think would be fun, but unfortunately they were just relegated to being in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But I'd love to see them have another chance in another game. Monster Ock, oh my god, they have the character from the weird Spider-Man PS1 game. But next to Monster Ock, Monster Hunter. Another high-profile Capcom character. Monster Hunter needs to be here. Hayato. I actually was playing Hayato in MVC 2 the other day. He's a lot of fun. I know that they like to use characters that are at least like, I don't know, popular and relevant. I'd say is weird because like Morrigan hasn't had a Darkstalkers game in like 20 years or something. But yeah, I think that yeah, Hayato. Okay, now I'm actually warming up to Hayato more I think about it. Maybe that would be DLC. I would have to say, because I'm thinking of characters that would like, would you buy those DLC characters? Right now, I'm just trying to think of like who are like the popular main core that people want to see. I would love to see Monster Hunter as like base roster character. Now I know they like sprinkled on it a little bit in MVC where her alternate color is just different, or not alternate color, her alternate costume is just different gear. What if like every shader, instead of a different color, it's just different armor she's wearing? Vile from Mega Man X. I actually have no idea who Vile is. I've only played Mega Man 2, 3, 8, 9, and a little bit of X. I don't remember Vile at all. Beautiful Joe? No, that's a good one. Oh, another Marvel character that I think would be a lot of fun. Apparently he was like a hell of a character to develop for. Marvel kept giving Capcom notes on how to portray this character. But Doctor Strange. Apparently they had a hard time with like his hand gestures and everything like that, but I think he just needs a spot on here. He does feel like he just kind of fits this new era of Marvel vs. Capcom at least. Jeez. Man, more people for Beautiful Joe. I'm happy to hear that. Now this is where we're gonna get into more characters that we haven't seen in a while, in a hot minute. But I think they need to be here. Emma Frost, one of my mains and rivals, but nah, I don't want her in a fighting game. Yeah, I don't need her in a fighter. But yeah, definitely one that I was hoping would come back in 3, or who I would hope would be in 3 but wasn't, and then was excluded from MVCI. That I would love to see come back. It's not Gamora, it's Gambit. I want him to come in here and I want him to make a name for himself. Where Morbin time? Sony's not developing this one, so there's no chance of that happening. Now on the Capcom side, that goes along with Monster Hunter, another character who was just really cool, but unfortunately they were just in a game that no one loved. But I'd love to see them in like something that could play like MVC 3, but just cool characters from MVCI. Is Jeddah. AMA, I'm gonna put you in Gooner jail if you say that again. Yeah, I do like, I think she would be interesting. I'm not going to throw her off the list fully just yet. We have the Ultimate and DLC option, so I'd like to kind of figure that out too. Like, hey, where do we go from there? But yeah, Jeddah and Gambit are other characters. Jeddah would just be awesome. I love Jeddah in MVCI. When I saw his like gameplay preview when the game was like in the works, I was like, dude, he looks like so much fun. And then I played him and I paired him with Venom. Awesome duo. I thought that they were like a great duo to work together. And then because of that, that's why I'm like, I want Jeddah back. And even replaying MVCI recently and I played Jeddah again, I'm like, I forgot how fun this dude is. Yeah, Jeddah, another Darkstalkers character I'd love to see. That's not just Morrigan. We should get Magneto. I'm going to be Marvel from 2016. I don't think fans even know who Magneto is. Who? What? What? No, I'm just kidding. But funny enough, on my list, I don't know if you like read my notes or something, but I have like characters I've considered that I have written down here. You literally just called the next character that's on that list. And that's Magneto. I do really like Magneto. I actually never really grew up with the X-Men that much. The only time I did was from this weird Marvel fighting game that I played as a kid. X-Men Mutant Academy 1 and 2. Other than that, I never really watched the X-Men movies. I'm actually going to try and watch them with Rain soon. Because X-Men are one of her blind spots too when it comes to comics. But yeah, the Deadpool game and Rivals kind of introduced me more into the X-Men, and same with MVC. But yeah, Magneto is definitely a character I'd love to see. I'd love to see him, like a cool moment I could see if they wanted to do promotional trailers, like Jeddah could like throw one of those weird blood things at him, and he can like pull all of the iron out from that blood, and then they like, I don't know, he just does something cool like that. I don't know, I was just kind of like thinking of some fun stuff in my head of what they could do. Now, someone was bringing this up earlier. This is another one of those, like, they're going to choose. We do need a big dude on the Capcom side, I realize. We do not have a big dude. We have Hulk on Marvel. We do not have a big guy on Capcom. So, We need more villains on the Capcom side. Hey, hi Grace, it's good to see you too. Yeah, we need more villains on the Capcom side. And someone kept talking about this character earlier. And that is, where is he? Norimaru. I'm just kidding. Is it on? Oh, there he is. He's just Nemesis. I thought it was going to be like his full name. His like full legal government name. Nemesis. Nemesis, I think, ever since he was in Infinite, I'm like, okay, I feel like he's going to be like a Resident evil baddie that's going to be in these from now on. Mr. X, that would be cool too. Now I'm thinking, do I want to do Nemesis or Mr. X? Because my thought process is you have Resident Evil Classic with Jill, then you have Resident Evil 2 and 4 with Leon, and you have 3 with Nemesis. So you're representing like an era, different eras of Resident Evil at least. Grace can be a joke character for Capcom. Dude, you're kind of selling me on Grace being in here. You know what? Screw it. We're going to remove Leon Kennedy and put Grace there instead. Oh. Peyton, what'd you say? Nick, I don't know if anyone said this, but I like how you keep your posts with your community with the posts. I think it's something more YouTubers should do. I realize that not too many people do that, and I think it's just something I've always been doing. I don't know. I try to treat it like social media posts because I know not everyone's on a social platform. But yeah. Oh my God, Ashley. Have her just scream Leon and it's like Deadpool's taunt button speech box and it actually hurts them. Or it's like Phoenix Wright where like she's not attacking, she's just yelling and that's what hurts them, moves them around. That'd be funny. I'd give Capcom like 10 grand to develop Ashley Graham as a character just to do that. That'd be cool. Moving into more newcomer territory. This is where we're at another impasse, and I don't know where we go from here. Because it's going to be one or the other. Hi, Mojo. Definitely not you. I'm looking right past you instead. Where is she? Ooh, they're right next to each other, too. Ms. Marvel or Mr. Fantastic? We need a stretchy limb character. One of the two. I'm kind of voting for Ms. Marvel because I think she'd be fun. Like the fact that she can like embiggen and the fact that she's now in the MCU. But at the same time, Mr. Fantastic has never been in a Marvel game. The closest we got to Mr. Fantastic was Super Skrull. Yet, he still didn't feel too much like he just felt like all the Fantastic Four members, not exclusively like Mr. Fantastic. Moon Knight would cook, maybe Daredevil, the Punisher, Huggy Wuggy, War Machine. I don't think we need War Machine anymore because he used to be in was it Marvel vs. Capcom 1? And Iron Man wasn't even in it or something like that. And then they included him in an MVC 2 with Iron Man. It's just like, okay, they're just kind of the same character at this point, and Iron Man's just more popular. If anything, I could just see it just being like a costume. That's just it. See, similar to what they did with like Iron Patriot in MVC 3. I could see them doing something like that. Mr. Fantastic. All right, yeah. I see someone saying Mr. Fantastic. I kind of want to throw that because he hasn't been in any fighters yet. I already know that we have Kamala Khan or Ms. Marvel. She's going to be in that Tokon. So let's just get Mr. Fantastic's time to shine in a fighter at least. So it's fantastic. Barry Burton throws sandwiches at you. Yeah. And then it's just the Jill sandwich. Another one, because I forgot that this game was announced at the Game Awards recently, and they were fun in MVC 3. Let's just throw her on here. Amaterasu, Okami. The only reason War Machine was in MVC 1 was because Capcom wasn't able to renew the Iron Man license. Really? Well, that's something. Oh, those are Poppy playtimes. I have no idea what a Poppy playtime is. I've never popped a playtime. Okay, Nemesis. Oh, okay, Nemesis is not a bad choice either. Yeah, Nemesis is just a cool, like, beast character. He's, like, kind of scaled to the Hulk or something. Hear me out, Hawkeye, but just the face model is Jeremy Renner, and he's basically just Jeremy Renner. We'll just throw Jeremy Renner's face in there. That's just about it. Negasonic Teenage Warhead would be rad. Is she even on this list? I went way too far. Because now I'm curious if she's on here. Oh, she is! Oh my god! No, oh my god, she actually is there! Well, that's something. I'm surprised. Nightwatch literally just looks like Spawn. Anyway, where we were at. Amaterasu. I want her there. I think she'd be cool. And then moving on to... So this next entry here is a new Marvel and a new Capcom character for base roster. Amu is just cute, yeah. Rebecca Chambers is, Rebecca Chambers? That would be interesting. Never say no to it. I don't know, I don't know, because we have 3 Resident Evil. Oh, yeah, we have 3 Resident Evil, 3 Street Fighter, and then 2 Darkstalkers. And then we have a bunch of Avengers and like 4 X-Men in here. And then a Fantastic Four member. Her taunt, yeah, she just does the thumbs up to you. But yeah, we talked about this way earlier on this list. We need to have a cool sword fighter in MVC, and I think that that goes to Magic. I honestly think that Magic would be like an awesome character to include in this. It is very weird that like the only... Who are the other sword users that we've had in other MVC games? Oh, we've had Taskmaster and Deadpool, but like having someone who primarily uses a sword the whole time. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Only 2 DS. I don't know if we'd ever get Felicia again, honestly. Did we forget what she looks like? Blade got cut from MVC 3? That's just sad. I would have loved that. I'm kind of sad that he never made it into any of the games. Now this is for Rain, because I know Rain loves this character, and I also think that this would be like a fun new era Street Fighter character. I know the cat's out of the bag with that one. There's the Smash render for Ken. I only say new era, even though that the character's like close to 20 years old now. From their creation, not like an age. I'd be fine with Juri. I think that Juri Han would be a cool character in something like this. I'd be down with like a Juri Han character. Silver Samurai. I don't even think that many people know who Silver Samurai is anymore. Or at least the portrayal of him in MVC. I'd love to see... yeah, I'd love to see him at least. But that's just me though. I'd love to see just what he looks like in here. Silver Surfer was originally going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Oh, yeah, Silver Surfer would have been awesome. Yeah, okay, yeah. I actually need to play the mod where you can play as like the other characters. Like I've seen people put in like Cyclops and Thanos in MVC 3. I think that my mom would be an awesome DLC character, but that might just be me. Nah. We'll just throw in an extra one that's just Peyton Hall's mom. You guys kill me sometimes. Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a minute. Iceman wasn't in MVC 3. I thought it was just complications because he would be a flying character. Something like that. All right. This one's for. I am gonna admit that this one's for me. But I think we're not gonna have like a joke DLC character. They would have to be base roster. But this is a character that I really like, and I just like their playstyle in MVC. I'm also very biased because they're one of my favorite Capcom characters. I don't care what anyone says, Frank West is going on here. I think Frank West... Oh, jeez. I think Frank West deserves to be on this. Black Bolt. I think Black Bolt. Yeah, I think Black Bolt would be cool. His weapon is literally just him yelling at you, because his voice is literally his own weapon. Yeah, Frank West is super fun in the Marvel games. If you haven't played Dead Rising, do it. It's so fun. Who is that evil Mega Man? Base? Is that who you're talking about? Or Zero? Leon and Frank, yeah, that'd be funny. They're both zombie hunters. I always loved the interactions between Frank and Spider-Man because they're both photojournalists. So Black Bolt is my ex... Shut up, Nate. Alright, who else on here that we need? Oh, I need to put a Marvel character on this side. So we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're at 14 on Marvel and 15 on Capcom. Batsu from Rival Schools. Batsu would be interesting. I do think that I would like to see him in something. I know the last thing I thought he was in was... What is it? Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Honestly, Base would be cool. Carl Heisenberg. Oh, if they're going to put an RE representative, I already know who it's going to be. But let me just get to the next Marvel character. And this is going to be another one of those, like, it's... Actually, no, it doesn't. No, that's not for this case. Never mind. This is actually a cosplay that Rain has considered trying to do. This is one of her go-to characters when we play Rivals. It's Rocket Raccoon. I'd love to see Rocket, but I'd love to see it where he's paired with Groot more. Like, I liked what they did with him in MVCI, where, I do like that what they did with him there, where, like, he's incorporated into his moveset more. Grand Mental, I love that the picture for Nemesis is OG Resident Evil 3. I think that screenshot's actually from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, right before Nemesis fights, Hagar and Frank West. It's a very weird moment in the story, because like Hagar is all oiled up and I'm like, this is really uncomfortable. And speaking of mentioning oiled up men, something that's definitely not on my search history. Hazmat from Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects? Oh, that's an EA character. I forgot. Oh, there he is. Hagar. Wrong spot. Is that a combination between Frank Ocean and Kanye West? Yes. But he's covered wars, you know. Make him a terror. Make him... him and Groot like they were in Ferrator. Honestly, that's the approach I was thinking. Like the whole time he's like on his shoulder, and like Groot does like heavy strikes, and he could like launch him up into the air, and then he could like meter burn it or make it a super where like Groot pulls him in, throws him up, and then Rocket like shoots him while they're flown up in the air or something. Star-Lord I think would be a good choice. Loki would be another good choice. Do you think Hazmat looks like Reptile in Marvel Nemesis? He kind of does. I see that everyone's like, yeah, just make Rocket just Farah and Tor with Groot. I like that everyone's just on that same page and everyone just connected there. Oh, the next Marvel character that I was considering. This is another one of those where I'm like, all right, it's got to be one or the other because they play so similar. But knowing where we are in the MCU right now, I kind of want to see how this character would work. And I kind of want to see how they would work inside of a Marvel game. It may not be the likeness of Simu Liu, but Shang-Chi would be awesome in a Marvel game. Like, imagine him doing like punches and the rings come out. I think that would be awesome. Just like him incorporating the rings into his moveset or whatever. Even if they want to make it like the MCU version where they're like rings on his body instead of his hands. I think that I think if you just want to incorporate that and just be like a martial artist would be cool. The only reason I say that Shang-Chi would be like it's one or the other is because I do think that if we put Shang-Chi in, we don't get Iron Fist. That's just where I'm at with it. Colossus and Wolverine for the fastball special. That'd be fun, honestly. Yeah, because the last time Colossus has been in a Marvel fighting game was MVC 2. I feel like that's the last time a lot of characters were in. Shang-Chi, from what I heard, is one of the greatest fighters in the Marvel Universe. So is Iron Fist. I know that. No, you spelt it right the first time. It's just pronounced like Shung. Wonder Man and Sentry are some of the other interesting MCU relevant picks. I don't know anything about Wonder Man. I haven't seen the show. It's on my list to watch it though. Sentry is one that I almost wanted to put on here. Let's just get on to the next character on our list here. This is one that we spoke about earlier. And ever since MVC, I think they're just going to be a mainstay moving forward. That's T'Challa, the Black Panther. I think that Black Panther just needs to be on the roster moving forward. And then for the Capcom side, real quickly, we're going to get into some weird territory with this one. I want to see if anyone's on board. How fun this would be. Walrus, that's who it's going to be. Gotta go to the R's. R. Oh, there she is. Anyone heard of a game called Dino Crisis? Because I think that if they want to throw like an obscure Marvel character, or not a Marvel, Capcom character, I do think that Regina would be really cool. I know that when they did that Capcom poll, I think it was last year or the year before. Nate, you were so spot on. Yes, it is the Wall Market theme from the remake. But I do think that Regina would be an awesome character in Marvel vs. Capcom. She was in one of those Capcom polls, and she was like one of the most popular characters on there. And I was like, yeah, people just know Dino Crisis, even though that it's been kind of like a dormant series for a while, and everyone thought that Exoprimal was going to be, like when they were showing the teaser off for it, and it was like Project Dino or whatever, people were like, is this like a new Dino Crisis? I thought that would have been cool. I actually want to play this. I actually never have, but I want to though. From what I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun. Even though it is very much Resident Evil with dinosaurs, which is not a bad thing. I grew up, my brother was a dinosaur kid. I kind of inherited the dinosaur isms from my brother. He knows more about dinosaurs than I do though. So I feel like this would be his like joke character that he would just love. So now we got 3 more characters on both sides, and we have 2 villains on the Marvel side that are 2 Marvel villains and a hero that we're filling in. And then on the Capcom side, we have a obscure, and a villain. I will sit with you when you play it. Deal. We'll do it. So we're gonna do my ballpark. We're gonna do my game plan here. I will show you my 3 Marvel characters, and then we'll go into the 3 Capcom characters. So the first one, just because they're popular, and I know people really like this character. This is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. Venom. Yeah, I think Venom needs to be a base character, just like we are Venom and stuff like that. I'd love to just seeing him again in MVCI, and I'm like, I'm so happy he made it into this game that's not amazing, but I'm just happy that he was there. Yeah, the reason they didn't include Mega Man in MVC 3 was because of issues that were going on with Keiji Inafune, because he was leaving Capcom at that point, which is why they put Zero in over Mega Man. I'd rather have Carnage than Venom. I'm in the same boat, but I think it would just be weird if we had Carnage but not Venom. It would just be very interesting. Yeah, we did trade Mega Man for Zero. That was a good trade. That's like a good use of that meme. I get this, we get this. Oh, Carnage would be really cool though. Yeah, the thing is, they are very similar, where I'm like, yeah, it's not like they would be a very different character. Like where it's like, oh yeah, like they can have a very different play style than another character. But like, it's like, oh, they are very similar. That's the hard thing. I'm going to bring Carnage up here real quick, and then I'll see if I take him off, and let's see how I feel about it in a little bit. Because I think that might hurt after a bit. I feel like Venom's gone for too long. Like, Alright, Carnage. Yeah, Venom is more tanky. He's like a tankier Spider-Man in these games. Yeah, if we have Venom as the blue Venom, I just saw AMA's comments in there. As I say, yeah, if we have Venom as like the blue one from like the 90s, then yeah, I think he's there. If it's the Tom Hardy one, we get rid of him, and then we keep Carnage in there. I do think that I would like to see a symbiote like turn his hands into like axes and throw them as like a projectile, uses like tentacles as spears. I think that would be cool. I think for the sake of this, one of these would have to be DLC, one of them would have to be gone. Like one of them would have to be on the base roster, the other would have to be DLC. I think because I know people would want to buy the DLC, I'm just going to take Carnage off for now. Don't worry, we'll get back to you later. But the next Marvel character that I would love to see come back, because felt weird they weren't there. I think Rogue needs to come back in some way. I've actually never played RE Outbreak. I actually don't know who Thanatos is. But there's another character on the Marvel side that sounds close to that. It's Violent Thanos. Not Violent Thanos, it's Violent Ken. But yeah, I do think that the next character, I already kind of messed up the joke anyway. But I think if we're going to have like another big villain, I think it has to be Thanos. And where is Thanos on the Marvel side? The Russian from Punisher? Oh my god, it's Takuya Yamashiro from Sentai Spider-Man. That's who we need. We need to cut Spider-Man. We need to put this dude in there. Sentai Spider-Man. But yeah, here's my Marvel, full Marvel side right here. No, that was a good use of all. Don't apologize for putting all right, Sugar. That's a good one. Rogue in the RE Engine instant pre-order. And if her voice actress does reprise it, that'd make it even better. Kevin Nash. That was Kevin Nash? That was the Russian? I need to watch that again. Do I have any future rankings other than Rain Reacts to MK11 Fatalities? Yes, I have a big one that's coming out in April as an anniversary. Thank you, Noxy. Thanos didn't even have the Infinity Stones in MVC2 and in Infinite, but he was still cool because he got to put people in bubbles. That was awesome. Brightburn and DBD, that would be really cool. I don't know what's going on with that property anymore though, but hopefully they could do something with it. All right, now let's finish out the Capcom base side. First Capcom character that we're going to put in here is a newcomer. And I wanted to see them in Infinite, but, you know, with Infinite, we're not allowed to have good things. There he is. I actually played Power Stone at a convention. They had a booth set up, and you could play, like, it was like an arcade cabinet, and we could play it for free. We actually got to play Power Stone with, like, a group of friends. And this game was so fun. I never played it growing up, but I was so happy it's now included in the Capcom Arcade Collection 2. But yeah, anyway, Power Stone needs to come back, and they need to put Edward Falcon in here. At least some Power Stone representative. Jin Saotome from Cyberbots, is that who you're talking about, Zuno? Because I think he would be cool. Now, the next Capcom pick I had on here, it is another villain. Kind of balances out because we have one of the representatives, and it would be cool to have another one. Look out, it's Bob Sagat. We need to have, where is he? I missed it. No, there he is. Sigma. He has the unfortunate, he does have the unfortunate case of being in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but I do think that, he deserves to be in here at least, which is, I do think that, like, I would love to have, yeah, I would just really like to have Sigma come back in, like, a new, MVC game at least. Thank you, Horror Master. Appreciate you coming in and saying hey. Thank you for stopping by. I need to watch Ready or Not. It's on my list. Oh, you're right. The Star Wars comics. I know Maximilian on his stream was like, yeah, technically they own Predator, so he threw Predator in there as a joke. Dude, Sigma was like one of the most fun characters in Infinite. Like, he has, like, the weird finger things, like the finger missiles that come out. He has a sword, and then he, like, transports you into, like, the digital world to, like, beat you up for his level 3. It's awesome. But yeah, Sigma, I think, I would love to see Sigma as, like, one of the big villains on the Capcom side. And then maybe working with, like, Thanos in some way. I don't know. Or doesn't even have a big story. We already know what happened when they included a story and people hated it. But the last Marvel character... or not Marvel, Capcom character that I'd love to see on here. Another one of those weird characters that would be just awesome. Playing her in MVC2 is a lot of fun. And unfortunately, she's only in MVC2. And fun fact, it's a character that, once again, it's another character that Rain wants to cosplay. She fell in love with her when she first saw a picture of her. Ruby Heart. Now, if any of you want to know what Ruby Heart's from, she's actually from a canceled Darkstalkers project, and they're like, hey, we already worked on this character, so why don't we just port her into MVC2 instead? So that's how we got this weirdo pirate character that's like soaring this giant sky ship, like sky pirate ship around. It's because the game was canceled. They're like, you know what? This is also just a mix of picks that I want and picks that I would be really happy with. I'm like trying to look at it in both ways. as much as I can. Wife Ruby Heart mention. Yeah, Ruby Heart, I think she deserves to be on here. It would be cool if like they threw her in as like the final reveal character. Because then it's like, oh my goodness, yeah, these weirdo characters that like only existed in 2, they care about the fans. So that's where I'm like, yeah. That's where I think it like matters, where it's like, yeah, we need to have weird picks in here. And just unique ones that like fans care about. Because I like go to conventions like in the fighting game scene and people are still like, dude, I just want Ruby Heart to come back and like anything Capcom related. All right, now we're going to move on to DLC. Now I think this will be a fun one too. One of my friends who's watching this stream just texted me. He just texted me, and when I put Sigma on the list, he just goes Sigma balls. I'm about ready to get up and leave. Big Chungus. Isn't that technically a Warner Brothers character now? Because they put him in like Space Jam 2? Maybe if like Marvel ended up or if Disney ended up buying out Warner Brothers, that'd be a reality. Same thing with the racist cactus. I mean, yeah, he's a little not culture. Yeah, the culturally insensitive cactus. Yeah, he's definitely wouldn't really fly the best today, but like, I mean, he's fun in that game. That's about it. I wonder how he would work in something new. Yeah, moving on to the DLC. So here's how this is gonna work. So we're gonna do 3 Marvel characters and then 3 Capcom characters. Amingo, the few Mexican reps, please come back to MVC. Oh geez. Now the premise of this one is stuff that I'm like, okay, these would be cool characters. They have to be relevant in some way. And do you want to buy them? Like, who are these characters that make you want to like buy these characters? So here's the first one that we're gonna get right out of the way. Someone did mention this early on in the stream. I'm gonna try and paint like a fun story, like how this trailer reveal would go. It would say like the logos like Capcom Presents, then Marvel Comics, and it's like a rainstorm or whatever, and all you see is this big flash or whatever, and you see like this explosion, and you see Spider-Man get thrown into a wall, and he's like web swinging, and he's just getting all hurt, and then he gets pinned to the ground, and he gets outsped by, where is he? I thought I saw him a second ago. Here he is. Nero. Nero is my first DLC pick. So he tries beating up Spider-Man. Spider-Man slings away, and he's like, oh god, I'm about to get killed by this random dude that can also like use his arm as a weapon and stuff like that. And as he's gonna come in and try and attack him, someone else comes in with their own sword and attacks back at Nero, another mouther. Someone who likes to talk a lot. And where is he at? Is he in a different spot? I'm losing my train of thought now. Is he under Miles? Oh, here he is. Yeah. So then he comes in and stops Nero, and then they both do like a weird clash of like, all right, pulls out his lightning sword, and then Nero comes in with like his and like charged up blade or whatever. They splash, causes an explosion. Boom, we have our first 2 characters. It's Miles and Nero. I think that they'd be a fun one because you have the character who can kind of play like Dante, but not. You have a character who could play like Spider-Man, but I'd say instead give him like invisibility where it gives him a teleportation, and then give him like his electricity powers, so he's at least different enough from Spider-Man. And then Nero, give him like more punch glove based stuff. I think he would be a lot of fun, like being able to throw his fist, use like he could like have random installs where he can switch between different like arms to use. So he separates himself from being like Dante. Because I think Nero and Miles would be awesome in these games. Dudley from Street Fighter is DLC. Goated like a next gen standoff. Goated pick I'm pre-ordering. So then from there, a big lightning flash happens, and then it switches to another scenario. And this is more in like a weird like realm of people fighting, maybe out in outer space or something. And all you see is like the flash of white turns into a flash of yellow as Adam Warlock is charging in a bunch of energy, getting ready to fight off against another being with all of this immense power. They're going back and forth, and you see him shoot like a giant beam of light at somebody. You don't see the figure just yet, and then you see it gets like exploded and it's moved out of the way, and you see that there's like pyrokinesis and all of these other powers and energy that just kick in. And then it's also another character who was supposed to be in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and didn't happen. We have Third Strike's Gil going up against Adam Warlock, just fighting each other with like dumb bullshit power, and it's just absurd and annoying. But I just want to see Gil come back in one of these games. Don't worry, everyone, I'm not sick at all. Do I want this game to be 3v3 or 2v2? 3v3. I think I want this to be 3v3. That would be a lot of fun. And then the last one, of course, this is a weird one where I'm like, okay, this is for the fans. It looks like you're inside of like a creepy mansion. Kind of think like a horror setting, or if you want to think like the, if you want to think of it like the announcement trailer, and you have Chris Redfield going up against the Hulk. I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of fun, but what if we changed it instead of it being Chris? It's the Punisher getting ready to unload his entire arsenal, trying to find a creepy monster inside this mansion. And then that would be our final. So it's pack 1, pack 2, and then pack 3. And then pack 3, it would be him going up against... Oh, hi, Luna Snow. You look kind of creepy in this art. Say it with me. The Resident Evil character that many people still have a hard time pronouncing. Lady Dimitrescu. Or Lady D. So here's my DLC pack for Marvel vs. Capcom 4 Vanilla. You have your entire base roster here. And then about a month later, you start rolling out these characters with Spider-Man and Nero. And then we got Adam Warlock and Gil. And then we get Punisher and Lady Dimitrescu. I'm not hinting at Luigi. I'm actually, when I say the Haunted Mansion, I'm hinting at Eddie Murphy from the hit movie Haunted Mansion. Oh no, Lady D, no, don't chase me in the cellar room. I have this wine glass and a nice candle lit for the both. No, don't swing your claws at me. No, yeah. That's pretty much what everyone on the other side's going to be like the whole time they go up against Lady Dimitrescu, honestly. Oi, oi, oi. So yeah, here's my pick for Marvel base roster, and then here's DLC. What are we thinking so far? I just read the 2 characters I'm completely normal about and not feral at all as DLC. Who are you feral about on the DLC end? Is it Punisher and Lady D? But we're not done, Because remember, they'll do an ultimate of this. And this is where we get 12 new characters, and they're going to say, hey, here's where the rest of the game actually is in. Now here's the list order I have. I'm going to go Marvel, Capcom, Marvel, Capcom, Marvel, Capcom, Marvel, Capcom, Marvel, Capcom. That was 12 characters that we're going to go through. The first one. This is going to be a bit controversial because we excluded one of the characters from this list. But we're going to add another character from the same series, I guess you could say. I lost them. There they are. I think I'm going to be real. I don't think we need Thor, but I would love to see Loki on here. I'd say that he'd be like a fun trickster character and all these weird traps he could do, like create like a clone where he has like an install. If he gets hit, he teleports to the other side or something. I think he'd be a lot of fun. Just make him a trickster type character. That'd be a fun challenge I'd like to see. And then all of his costumes or alternate colors could just be different variants of Loki. They have a lot of fun with him in the MCU, so that's why I'm like push for Loki instead, honestly. And speaking of God of Mischief, if that's what he is, if I'm correct, the next character they need to add that's God related, and I wanted him to be an MVC 3, and I wanted him to be an Infinite. If you haven't played this game, please play it. It's literally nothing but hype moments and everything. 8-Ball, he's a dude who had his head replaced with an 8-ball. I don't know who this guy is. But if there is someone that I would love to see on the Capcom side that just needs some love and attention and love and a lot more attention. Oh, there he is. I was looking at the Marvel side for a second. Asura. Asura from Asura's Wrath. This game is so awesome. It's literally just hype moments, and it feels like the whole time it's a Dragon Ball fight. The boss is like, you literally fight a dude who tries to like, he grows bigger than the earth and he tries to poke you and crush you. And you literally punch his finger and his body blows up and it causes your arms to blow off. And then you fight some other dude with your arms gone with your head. So just make him have installs where he gets more arms and he just keeps growing in form. He would be so dope in this game. Just add Asura from Asura's Wrath. I'm surprised that no one brought this up when I was putting this list together at all. But I do think that he would be a fun, like, this would convince people to check out, yeah, Cassidy, you're right. He pretty much is just Capcom Kratos, which it made for a good death battle, by the way. We'll get to Carnage in a moment. But I'm surprised no one brought this up when I was putting this list together. Are we over Deadpool fatigue yet? Has Deadpool fatigue kind of went away? Because I know we were over it in like the mid 2010s and late 2010s. Because he was just everywhere. But here's Deadpool. I think he is just a big Marvel name at this point. Where I think that, like, yeah, he needs to be there. Like, he wasn't even in the first year for Marvel Rivals, and then he showed up for season 6. I was like, yeah, that makes sense that they put him in. I can see Gwenpool over Deadpool at the moment. Oh, that's interesting. Deadpool should be base roster. Demson? Oh, do you mean Dulcim? I don't think we need Dulcim in a versus game anymore. Do you think Asura is one of the top tier angriest video game characters? Yes. He literally gets better, like stronger the more angry he gets. I'd say the only person that has him outmatched might be the Hulk. That might be it. So I don't now I'm thinking, do we need to put Gwenpool in or Carnage over Deadpool? Because I have about 9 more people I can put in here right now. But a few of them are interesting picks, I will say. Cyclops, Venom, and Zero. I don't know who Adam the Clown is, but he looks so cool I want him in the unhinged picks. Oh, Adam the Clown is from Dead Rising. Sagat has to make it in. I think we have enough Street Fighter characters. I don't think we need Sagat. I wouldn't mind Captain Marvel coming back. Who would we replace with Captain Marvel? Or just add her to DLC? Well, let me just finish up the rest of this DLC list I have here, and then we can make changes to it. And then if we want to, we can just put unhinged picks in here. Now another obvious one I feel like should make it in. They kind of need to be in these games now, and of forever because of how powerful they are. They have to be DLC moving forward. I mean, after all, they are the storm that is approaching. Provoking, Black Clouds in Isolation. Virgil. Now imagine how funny it would be if they made him the final, one of the final extra characters. And they made him just dog ass. And he's actually one of the worst characters. That would have been really funny. This is another one I had considered for a bit for DLC. I don't think anyone's going to argue. I think this is someone who really just needs to be in Marvel moving forward. Like Marvel versus Capcom games moving forward. Yeah, Virgil is the DLC pick next to Akuma. Zero and Virgil are played by Power Rangers actors? Which one? I also never watched Power Rangers. Now this is where, okay, we have one dude with a blade, and now we have, how about this dude who doesn't have just a blade, but he has a captain's sword. Captain Commando. I think that Captain Commando should be in here. If we're gonna have like weird like legacy characters, like if we're gonna have Ruby Heart that barely anyone knows, or like obscure picks like Regina, I think Captain Commando would be a great pick to have in here. So yeah, I think Captain Commando deserves a spot in this. Now I'm gonna admit, the only reason I'm putting this character in here is because they were rumored to be in, but it never happened. And then apparently they were worked on, but they were cut. I want to know what you guys think, honestly. And that is... Oh, where are they? Is their name hyphenated, or is it just... Dimsdale Dimmadome? No. Oh, there he is. If we are going to get another Spider-Man character, I do think I want it to be Doc Ock. Doc Ock would be just be a really cool character in one of these. I'm kind of upset that he wasn't in 3, which apparently he was supposed to make it in. And then the next one, I will admit this is a little bit of a goofy pick, but I think it'd be fun to have another small little character running around. And this is gonna get, I know that this is goofy. Feline from Monster Hunter. have like a tiny character that just uses gadgets, cooks food, and like accidentally hurts you and like flies in on one of those. That could be one of their like command assists. They come in with that bug and they like help give your player a boost or like some vitality or something. I know that this one probably won't last long, Feline from Monster Hunter, but one character that I know that people want to see and I feel like they deserve to be a Marvel vs. Capcom character. I scrolled past them a couple of times. Now I know that more people are buying this pack. Palico, my favorite Meow Meow. Speaking of other characters, I know people were asking for this other guy earlier, and I feel like he just deserves being here too. I'll just throw him in here. Daredevil and Zero. Hunk. Hunk would be interesting in a Marvel game, honestly. Now we have two more on here that I have left on my original list that we can just alter around. This was mentioned very early on when I was building the main roster. And I'd just love to see him in a fighting game, honestly. I'd love to see Moon Knight. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, if this game were being made in, like, 2011 or 2017, no one would be asking for Sentry, but now that the Thunderbolts came out, I feel like Sentry would be, like, a perfect pick, honestly. And I think that that would be, like, another flyer, where we would have, like, yeah, we don't need... We can exclude some characters because we have Sentry who can kind of do the same stuff they're doing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is. Rain was so sweet and just made me some tea. And, it's gonna burn my throat a bit. I gotta wait for that to cool off. The last, Capcom pick that I would love to see is, I also just want to see her come back, similar to Ruby Heart, was only in one thing, and it wasn't even Marvel vs. Capcom. It was another crossover thing though, and it was a license thing that they worked on. Lin Kurosawa. She was one of the protagonists in the Capcom beat-em-up Alien vs. Predator. And then she has showed up a few times in like Street Fighter in like the background of like a few Street Fighter stages. I think it's Alpha, if I'm correct, where she's like at a pool party and she's sitting in the back and you can see like Ruby Heart there too. But honestly, I'd just love to see Lin Kurosawa come back. In some way. I think she would be awesome. Another Lin mention, Phoenix Wright should be in the roster, especially since he was a standout in MVC 3. I think he would be fun. I've actually never played a Phoenix Wright game. But yeah, you know what? Now we're gonna do unhinged picks. Y'all choose your top 6. We'll do 3 and 3. I will throw, because some of you guys were asking for him earlier. I'll throw in PW at least in here. Even though I'm not familiar with Phoenix Wright that much, I think he'd be fun. Oh, and Carnage. Wasn't Phoenix Wright one of some people's least favorite character to play in Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Kind of, because you had to, like, do chores in the middle of the fight. You had to, like, collect evidence in the middle of the fight. and then you would have to use your evidence, and then you'd have to like, that's how you would activate your level 3. And it was an unblockable, and it did a bunch of damage. It was crazy. I just saw someone throw out another name for and I'm just gonna put it in there. By someone, I mean AMA. I am throwing them in. I'm throwing this character in here. Fiona and Huey, yeah. There we go. I just look at this list and I'm like, who are these characters? Emma Frost. Screw it. If we're gonna have like an unhinged picks, we'll just throw I see another one because I've seen it in capitalization. I'm seeing the name more angry now, so I guess I gotta put it in there. Is it under Krauser or Jack Krauser? Jack Krauser. Oh, I know many people were talking about this one, like, even before MVC 3 came out. So I'm going to throw them in there because I think that would be fun. Maybe we should throw everyone off and put another Marvel character. Instead of it being 3 and 3, it's 4 and 2. Ant-Man, he almost made it into Infinite, but that didn't happen. Mr. K and Red Barrett. Yep, there. Oh, I thought you were saying another character name. All right, one more Capcom character. Who's it going to be? Of course, it was one of the first names I saw, so that means I have to do it. Because 2 people voted for Ashley Graham, and because we pitched a fun idea, I think we got to do it. Yeah. Anyway, here's the DLC pick. I will send this to Marvel and Capcom, and we are going to make this a reality. Rogue, Emma, and yeah, there we go. That's like Team Goon right there. Yeah, you get Rogue, Psylocke, and Emma all in one team. That's Team Goon right there. All right. Yeah, they're both pretty much just terrible picks. Phoenix, Wright, and Ashley. They just attack with speech bubbles the whole time, just by yelling at you. All right. I'm going to get up and move a little bit before we transition into the next segment of this stream that is going to be dedicated to creating up, where I'll be sharing with you my top recommended games of all time and my favorite game from every year I was born. So I'm going to pause the music. I'm going to go on a quick little break here, have some tea, walk around a bit, and then we'll be right back. So I'm going to pause this music here, and then we're going to go to the next segment. So thank you all for contributing and thinking and hanging out in this segment here. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll be back momentarily. So see you in a moment.
done.
We are back. We're back. So yeah, here we are. We have a different setup. I had a little snack to have. Tea cooled down a little bit, so I got to drink some more of it. I'm going to look through some of the chat here because I heard someone say they wanted to make a sexy Adam the Clown. Is that what I heard correctly? Well, here we go. We're on to the second half here. Now, I wanted to do a build the roster because those are kind of fun and I like engaging with you all. But we're going to move on to the thing that I'm really looking forward to tonight. And that is sharing some of my top recommended video games of all time with you all. I got to find the right background music to kind of set the tone. Please tell me this is the right one. There we go. Thank you, Maximum Mishima, for the birthday wishes. So my birthday is actually tomorrow, so I'm going to be spending tomorrow either sick, depending on how I'm feeling, off work, or with my family and friends. So I want to at least celebrate it with you guys, a community that really means a ton to me. Thank you. So in return of all of your support, I want to share with you all of these very fun games that are very much worth your time. You should definitely check them out whenever you can. They're just wonderful. And how this is going to work is I'm going to go through this topster list here. And I'm going to go through from every year that I was born, starting with the year I was born, and then wrapping to 2026. So we're going to go through my drum roll, because people were trying to guess my age at the very beginning of this. Rain's rumbling in the other room. My top 28 games of all time. Yes, I am turning 28. Yeah, so I'll make a fun little community post saying it's my birthday today, and I'll just kind of have the day off. So we're going to be doing the top 28 games of all time. My top 28 games. Hey, Target. Good to see you. So we're going to start at 1998 all the way to 2026. So here we go. Starting off, I do have notes. Why is it playing Tekken music all of a sudden now? My back hurts now? Cassidy, you got it right. Put your hand up to the phone. Those are 5 high fives for you. Special Forces is going to be on the list. Wow, you catch on so quickly. So now here we're gonna go. I'm gonna quickly say a few snippets about each one. I don't want to have this stream take up all of your night. I want you all to at least do something a little, like enjoy your evening. I don't want to take up all of your night, but I just want to say thank you for coming here. So starting off, y'all were guessing 30s. Someone was saying like 30. Someone was putting like a 35, 36. I'm like, ugh. That's where I was like, do I look that old? But, you know what? Kai, or Cobra Kai, that was for you. Let's kick this off. We're going to start with 1998. And if you ever want to look at my old content on my channel around 2016, this is actually one of my first bigger videos I did that I took a lot of time and energy into. I am misspelling this horribly. I did a video because I used to do Crash Bandicoot content actually, because I really wanted to do that at one point. But my favorite video game of 1998, the year that I was born, is Crash Bandicoot Warped. It is also in my top 5 video games of all time. It is my favorite platformer video game, one of my favorite platformers. My favorite of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the original trilogy on the PlayStation 1, which was a game console that my dad gave me when he got a PlayStation 2. He gave my brother and I this, so he introduced us to the Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro the Dragon trilogies. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite ones. You literally just travel through time, collecting the crystals, and fight the bad guy at the end. And all of the characters, the animation, the charm, everything about this game is just so special. And like the music lives in my head rent-free. Everyone is just so good. Like everything about this game is just so good. They like did everything so right. And it's definitely one of my favorites of all time. If you haven't played the original, I recommend checking it out. But if you do want to check it out on a modern platform because it's not ported on anything, you can play the Insane trilogy on PS4 and 5, Xbox One and Series X, and the Nintendo Switch and PC. So if you want to play like a much more updated version of these games, you can. But I prefer the original because the polygonal art style, the crunchier sound effects and all of that. Like, this game is just so good. But yeah, in my top 5 games of all time, Crash Bandicoot Warped. Now moving on to 1999. If anyone has any video game music recommendations, let me know. I can cue that up in a minute because this is just on loop because it's safe for ads. But moving on to 1999, we have my favorite kart racing video game of all time. And yes, Crash Team Racing. I have said in my Discord that I am not the biggest fan of Mario Kart. I prefer this over anything that the plumber has done. This game has actually done a lot of innovations in the kart space, such as like being able to like do like hops and drifts and all of that. I think the weapons are iconic, even though that some of them are kind of mirroring something you'd see in a Mario Kart game, but they make it fit the Crash world so well. All of the races are so good, and once again, the music is just spot on. And when you learn like the development behind it, Naughty Dog originally wanted to make Crash Team Racing the third game in the trilogy, and because they hated the I do have personal beef with the plumber, okay? I don't know, I just never loved Mario Kart that much. I think the only Mario Kart game I really liked was Double Dash, and that's it. But other than that, I think they're fine. This is a pretty crashing situation. I've never played F-Zero, I'm sorry. I have played a few other kart racers in the past. I've played the Sonic Racing ones, all of them. I think they're fine. But this one, it just struck a chord with me. But the fact that Naughty Dog built this game in a terrible office situation with no AC, nothing, and they just made up a kart racer because they're like, screw it, we'll just make this. And it's one of the best kart racers of all time. Now, this is similar to Crash 3. The only modern ways you can play it, Daytona is also great. I love Daytona. But the thing with this one that makes it a little hard is that, oh my goodness, they had a demo of it at Kmart. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. That's nutty. Now, this is an awesome game. If you want to play it nowadays, you can get the Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled on consoles and on PC, which the handling is slightly different, which is why I think I like the original one more. It feels better. And I just don't like how the microtransactions were put into the remake. So I would say play this version instead. Even though the roster is a bit smaller, every character will strike a chord with you. You'll love them. Now moving on to the year 2000. Yeah, there's a giant Kmart near where I lived, and now it's just, it was gone for a while, and now it's like a weird like strip mall. Now moving on to my favorite game of the year 2000. I feel like you guys are really picking up on something. I just loved the my PlayStation 1, and I loved my platformers. Spyro Year of the Dragon. Now, I like this. I know a lot of people like to say that the second one is their favorite of the trilogy. This is actually my favorite one of the three. Sure, it tried a little bit too much because it like added all of these like things to the game, like, oh, we have extra playable characters. You can play as a penguin who has a jetpack and can shoot missiles at people. You can play as a Yeti with an ice club. You can play as a kangaroo, and you can play as an agent that's a monkey that lives in space. And you have a dragonfly that's your companion that's also acts as your health bar, and you get to go to all of these like crazy realms to get all of these eggs to like stop the evil sorceress. And this game, random fun fact, is the reason that dragonflies are my favorite insect. One of the contributing factors to that. It is a shame that Spyro has been mistreated, and the only thing that we saw him in for a while was Skylanders. I played the first one, and I thought he looked super ugly, and I'm like, oh my god, what did they do to my boy? And a random fun fact, Spyro in 2 and 3 is voiced by Tom Kenny, the same guy who voices SpongeBob. And it does a hell of a good job. Yeah, it's crazy that they were like the unofficial PlayStation mascots, and then Xbox bought out Activision, who owns Spyro and Crash, so now they're Xbox characters, which is really weird. Okay, now this song is driving me crazy. I'm gonna switch this up. I cannot play Mortal Kombat music. I forgot that it's I forgot that that's gonna give me like a copyright strike. Was Spyro in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale? No, neither Crash or Spyro made it. Apparently it was because Activision owned the rights at the time, and they were asking way too much. Then their asking price was way too high, and then Sony was like, no. So, or not Sony, yeah, Sony, because they worked on it. They're like, yeah, no, this isn't happening then. Channel music background that's in your videos. I can do one of them because it's on Spotify. I'm just doing what's on Spotify right now. I'll throw this one because I just like the character and the music, to it. Fly down over here and we'll give you some soup. Yes, that was the Sonic CD music. But yeah. Year of the Dragon, back on track, one of my favorite video games of all time. You can play the Reignited trilogy on consoles and PC. So that would probably be the most definitive way to play it, I would say. I'd say that's like the way you can play it if you want to. And speaking of someone pointing out that I was playing Sonic music earlier, we're moving on to the year 2001. This is also another one of those top video games of all time for me. I'd say all of these are my top games of all time, arguably. Sonic Adventure 2, my favorite Sonic game of all time. Funny enough, when I'm not writing content, or capturing footage or doing anything content created related, and after I'm done playing super violent Mortal Kombat stuff, Sonic is actually one of those games I play that kind of calm me down a bit, because I don't like seeing blood and gore all the time. So this is like one of those things I do to like kind of de-stress myself. I just play Sonic the Hedgehog, and this is my favorite one. It introduced Shadow the Hedgehog, who is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. And I never had a scene phase as a kid, but I did love Shadow, so I guess that kind of makes me like, I guess I could consider that my scene era. I don't know. Yes, I did know Shadow was supposed to stay dead in Adventure, but fans like me who love Sonic too much, or Shadow too much, wanted him to stay alive. So I know that that's the reason he stuck around. He was supposed to stay dead, but he was such a fan favorite character that they kept him around. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is super good. If you have backwards compatibility on a Series X or an Xbox 360, you can still play Sonic Adventure 2, which is awesome. And then moving on to 2002. This is going to be an interesting one. Because I know people hate this game, but it was one of the first ones of this game. The first in the game series I played. 2002, Tekken 4. Yeah, Tekken 4 is the first Tekken game I ever played on the PlayStation 2. When my dad was like, you know what? Nick and Nick's brother, you guys can check out, it's the Year of the Kai. Awesome. That's so fun to learn. But yeah, Tekken 4, even though it's my least favorite of the Tekken games, I still have a lot of fun with it and a lot of fun memories of it. I didn't play a lot of the games that came out in 2002 anyway. So this is definitely one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, this is super fun. I really like it. Introduced me to Jin Kazama, who is one of my favorite video game fighting game characters. Oh, the prologue music in Tekken 4. The soundtrack in that game is so good. Oh my goodness, I actually might just play Tekken 4 music the whole night. Oh my god, yeah, that's really good. Oh, actually, while I'm in this playlist here, I think I will play, oh, another Sonic Adventure song. We'll just do that. Yeah, I will say Tekken 5 is probably my favorite Tekken game, though. That is the best one, I will say, arguably. I actually did play the new Sonic Racing game. I really like the new one. Special Forces brutally robbed. I'm sorry. See, here's the thing, though. I had class. That's why I didn't like Special Forces. But yeah, Tekken 4 is fine. He does look like he does give me Eminem vibes. Also, shout out to Eminem and the 313. That's a Detroit thing. But yeah, here's my first row of my top favorite games from 98 to 2002. Now we're gonna get a little more interesting. Dark Resurrections. I think that was fun. I only played it once at my cousin's though. I thought it was a fun game. Now we're gonna get on to one that's very interesting. Please, like, throw an emote or something. If any of you have heard of this game. Maximilian's reaction to the MVC collection is legendary. I do love it. Yeah, I actually saw Uncaged Games at a convention once. We're actually within the same area. Like, we're like an hour apart from each other. Yeah, War of the Monsters. This game was supposed to come out in 2001, but got delayed due to a event that happened in New York. So they were like, how about we just delay the whole game? Someone knows War of the Monsters in here. Hell yeah. So I could say that this was one of the first like arena fighters I played. It's developed by the team that did Twisted Metal. So instead of like, hey, let's have cars destroy a city and each other, like, what if we just do monsters that are like kind of ripoffs of kaiju that we know of? So you have like all of these cool monsters. Like you have Kongar on the cover here going up against Ultra V or Ultra 5. I don't know how it's said. I've never heard it said, so I just said Ultra V my whole life. But yeah, my brother and I will go to my brother's place, and he still has a PS2. And I got on like one of those like HDMI converters so we can like look at the resolution much better. But yeah, we played this game and we still go back and forth in this game. It's so fun. I just wish that this game had like a revival in some way. The music in this is so good too. I forgot what city it is. But yeah, it's like an orchestra. I learned that it's like dynamic. The soundtrack is so good. Yeah, honestly, War of the Monsters is just so good. I think it's, oh yeah, you're talking about Kinetic Collapse. Yeah, and he has like the weird frog outfit and he can spit the eyeball out of the skin. It looks so weird. I think my main was Togera though. He's like Godzilla, but he can like have blades come out of his body like Wolverine. Yeah, I wish they made a second one. That's disappointing they never did. Peyton, yes, I have been recognized in the public once, and it was at a convention, so I want to say that's kind of cheating, though. But the story behind it was, I was in my Spider-Man cosplay, and I had told people in the community, like, hey, people who live in the Metro Detroit area, I'm going to be at, Motor City Comic Con or something. And while I was, like, doing, like, a photo with, in my Spider-Man cosplay, someone walked up to me and just goes, hey Nick, can I get a picture with you? And I like ripped off my mask and they knew it was me the whole time, and I was like, oh my god. So we got a picture, and it was like one of those like crazy moments in my life where like I was recognized at something, and it was like someone that I didn't know or anything. It like threw me off entirely. But yeah, that was one of those like crazy moments in like my YouTube career, I would say, like getting recognized somewhere. But then at a convention, another one I went to, someone went up to me and like dapped me up. He was like, hey dude, and like pulled me in and did that, walked away, and then Rain was like, do you know who that guy was? I'm like, I have no idea who that guy was, but I was just like, no, this guy was cool though. But yeah, the only 2 times were conventions, so that has happened. But yeah, War of the Monsters, such a good game. I might just do like a random stream where my brother and I just play like fun games from our past. And War of the Monsters might be one of those. I might do that. Also, I hope you guys don't mind that I have Tekken 5's character select music playing in the background. Alright, moving next on to our list. We're going to completely change the tone a little bit. My favorite game of 2004 is the first Pokemon game I ever played, and that's Pokemon Fire Red. Yeah, it's the first one I've played. I'm still super happy that they ported it to the Switch, and I haven't played it yet, but I have This is the same cartridge that I've had since I was like 6. I still have the same cartridge. History Behind the Warrior, thank you for coming in here. Thank you for the well wishes too. Yeah, this is the same Fire Red cartridge that I've had since I was 6 years old. When I first played Pokemon Fire Red. And in case anyone's gonna ask, my first starter was Charmander. I only chose him because my brother told me that, yeah, he's actually the coolest starter of the 3, and he's the best, so you have to choose him. And then the older I got, I realized I should have chose Bulbasaur or Squirtle because the first 2 gyms are really hard. Yeah. Yeah, no, these cartridges are just tiny. I have a Game Boy SP and I have a Game Boy Original Advanced, so I can show you, like, I have pretty big hands. So, yeah, let me show you. This is how big this is. Like, my hands can completely cover this thing up. And then the SP, I can like hide this thing if I want to. But the cool thing is, you like open it up from here and then still works. But yeah, first Pokemon games I played, Fire Red. And then I think next year, the next year on this list is 2005. I actually cannot play this song because this is copyrighted. Yeah, the next game on our list here is another one. We got Street Fighter 5 hands. I'm sorry. Ask my parents why they gave me this design choice. I don't know. But then also my other favorite game from, not Emerald. Emerald again, I just did it again. What the hell? Yeah, my favorite game from 2005. I still play this from time to time. My old original save file, Pokemon Emerald. It's just a better version of Ruby and Sapphire. And if you want to know who my starter was for this one, it was Mudkip, who is also, fun fact, my favorite Pokemon. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about besides my Street Fighter V hand, my 5 hands that I have here. I would say a close second outside of Emerald is definitely Pokemon, outside of Pokemon Emerald, it's original Star Wars Battlefront 2. But yeah, Emerald does hold up so well. It's so good. It is. I hope they port that to Switch because I will buy that instantly. Greninja's a good one too. That was my starter when I played Y forever ago. And then now moving on to 2006, the year that graced us with Sonic 06, which is surprisingly not gonna be Sonic 06. Who's your favorite legendary though? Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna sound like a little bitch when I say this, but I'm gonna say it's Rayquaza, honestly. I do like Rayquaza a lot. Or Lugia. I do want to do a Pokemon randomizer. I might try that on the channel soon, honestly, just to screw around. Greninja just has a really cool design. I think Greninja being in Smash is what got me to choose Greninja. But moving on to 2006, one of my favorite zombie games of all time, and one of my first, Xbox 360 games I played. Dead Rising. It's also one of my favorite Capcom games of all time. So people were saying like, hey, who's Adam the Clown? What's Adam the Clown from? This is what he's from. He's one of the boss fights. Best boss fight in the game. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Dead Rising. I actually did a fun college paper on this, or college presentation on this game. Because I did this video games class in college. And it was like, you have to talk about something about video games in the community. And I talked about how Dead Rising evolutionized. No, I'm still good on tea. Thank you, though. I talked about how Dead Rising helped evolution, like made a good evolution of the survival horror genre, because the thing you can do in that game is, the gimmick is you can use anything as a weapon and you're trapped inside of a mall. So like you can see a park bench, pick up the park bench and swing it at a zombie. You can pick up trash cans, throw them at them, and sometimes an item will pop out of the trash can, and you can use like a baseball bat, a hunting knife, a glove, a gun that falls out of it. You can pick up a mannequin and swing it at a zombie, and then if the mannequin breaks apart, you can pick up each of the pieces of the mannequin. And the fact that you get to play as like a photojournalist, so you can like do all of this for the story, take pictures of zombies, and when you go to loading screens, it'll show the images that you took in game because you're trying to like uncover this big story that's going on. It's so creative and so cool. And the fact that like all of it's motion captured too, and they like acted all this stuff out similar to what they do with like the Resident Evil games now. It's like, oh my god, like they really like went into this, and it feels like it's just a really good story that you're playing. Now this is something you can still play on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam, but it's like $10 now. Definitely worth it. Check out Dead Rising. I like the series. Oh, I'm sorry about the ads. I swear I'm making it minimum. If it's too much, I'm sorry. I'd say if you have not played a Dead Rising game, play the first one. If you want to play it where it's a little bit easier and it's not as, like, the gameplay doesn't feel as dated. I was just about to say that history, you just put it in there. The deluxe remaster. So they did a deluxe remaster that came out in 2024, and they made a few like gameplay updates, so like you can move and aim and shoot at the same time. And they tweaked some of the controls. However, I just prefer the original controls. But if you want to play a game that's in the RE engine and it's Dead Rising, play the deluxe remaster. It's like $50 or something. But if you want to play the original and like and look at a game of what the Xbox 360 was capable of in 2006, play the original. It's so good. I never played the first one, only the second one, but I know everyone seems to hate Chuck Green. I love Chuck Green. Dead Rising 2 is probably one of my most played games ever. My neighbor and I growing up, we would set up our Xboxes together and we would literally play through the entire story, and we went and almost got every single ending together. We loved the second one so much. I wouldn't say that the second one's better than the first. I like Chuck a lot as a character. I don't think I have Dead Rising 2 on this list, unfortunately, but at least Dead Rising has some representation. But yeah, I'd say Dead Rising. Check it out if you want to. It's so good. Now moving on to 2007, and I already hinted that I was an Xbox kid. This is no surprise to anybody. It's Halo 3. It's one of my favorite FPS games of all time. The first Halo game I ever played. And it was definitely one of those games where I'm like, yeah, this is kind of shaping... It kind of shaped the generation for a while. But yeah, 2007 was a wonderful year for gaming. There were a lot of good games that came out that year. But yeah, I swear to God, I feel like Halo 3 was like such a moment in gaming. Like everyone I knew, like in school, growing up, were like, hey, do you have an Xbox? Do you want to play Halo? And I swear everyone said yes. They had an Xbox and had Halo. So like so many people came together. The multiplayer was fun. I still go back and play the multiplayer on the Master Chief Collection. I'm not the best at it, but I still enjoy it. I started replaying the campaigns. They're so good. Which I'd love to co-op it. That'd be so good. No, you don't apologize at all. It's all good. Which, speaking of, a friend of mine and I are actually doing a fun All Costumes Ranked video soon, where we're going to do all Master Chief designs ranked. So stay tuned for that soon. I wanted to branch out all designs ranked in a different thing. Do you think Halo would make a good movie or animated show? In the right hands, yes. I have not checked out the one by Paramount. Ever since everyone memed on it, I was like, oh, I'm not watching it anymore. Never mind. And I saw a few clips out of context. I'm like, this show looks rough, buddy. Yeah, Halo 3 could have been the perfect spot to end a trilogy. Not to say that I don't like the new ones. I replayed 4. It's fine. 5, Infinite. can be fun at times. When I'm not dying, I swear. Yeah, when I first played the Jimmy Rings. Yeah. But yeah, the Jimmy Rings, eventually as the series got on, it didn't get as good. And then you look back at Halo 3 and you realize how well everything just kind of holds up over time. The fact that it's been 19 years since Halo 3 came out, and it still looks better than some games that you can play now, and performs better than some games that are currently out now. It's baffling. Are you excited for the Avatar fighting game? Hell yeah, I am. I actually just finished watching Avatar for the first time. Thank Rain for that. If I die, is Rain taking over the channel? Yeah, her and our three fur children will. Freya, Hestia, and Kat are 3 cats. No shit, that's actually really cool. What a fun fact about your channel. That's actually something I never knew. That's actually really fun to know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Halo 3, if you've never played it, do it. It's so good. Moving on to 2008. I think this may have been the year that I got an Xbox, actually, because I played a PS2 all the time. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yes, that was the first time I actually watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm just going to put both of these on here. 2008 and 2009. It's going to be one of the only times that you will see back-to-back games in a series. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. I loved the first one a ton. You met him at Assault Calibur local. Wow, what a... Man, I just love how tight-knit and supportive the gamer community is. I just love it. Soul Calibur 4, I don't love it that much. I did not love Soul Calibur 4 that much. I thought it was fine. The thing that only made me want to check it out was the fact that, what was it? Darth Vader and Yoda were in it. And I thought that was weird. Like, okay, why are Star Wars characters in a medieval game? Because I played 3 and I thought 3 was fine. But yeah. Fun fact, this song is in my marathon training playlist. I listen to a lot of Sonic music while I run, because it just makes me want to run. But yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 and Left 4 Dead. I could kind of lump these into one, honestly. But yeah, amazing zombie games. The fact that you have to be... Like, the whole purpose of the game is you cannot split up. You have to work together. The fact that, like, if one runs off, they're pretty much dead. The special infected, the fact that there are, like... boomers. Okay, that sounds really funny knowing that boomer has a very different meaning nowadays. But then you have like the smokers, the hunters. The hunters scare the hell out of me to this day still. And then the giant tanks. And then the second one gets better because they introduced the spitters. But yeah, they have the spitters. What is it? The jockeys. And then the chargers that do with the giant arms and they just slam you over and over again. Yeah, those were awesome. The gunplay still feels good. My friend and I actually did a playthrough again not too long ago. Like one of my friends gets super busy from time to time because that's how life is nowadays. Oh, here we go. Screw it, I'm playing it. I have a hard time with the lyrics. Yeah, I was talking about that to AMA in here a while back. Like, oh yeah, remember when goon meant like bad guy? Because I was bringing that up to somebody. Is like, oh yeah, like the Lego goons and the henchmen, the goons. And like, what? They were like sexual freaks. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it is a weird phase that like goon does not mean the same thing anymore now. Yeah, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. If you haven't played them, do it. Sonic Unleashed is the only mainline Sonic game I've never played. There was Sonic Unleashed and Colors are the only 2 Sonic games I've never played. Sonic is one of my favorite characters, but there was a phase where I was like, ooh, these games are kind of ass. I actually went to GameStop and I actually got Sonic 06 because I thought it looked cool based on the box art. I did not know half the game was going to be load times. That was one of my biggest regrets, getting Sonic 06 instead of getting Sonic Unleashed. But yeah. Are we at that age? Are we that old that youth slang are words changing what they intended to be? Oh my god, yes. That is what's going on. God, I kind of hate that now. Now moving on to the next game. This is 2010. I'd say outside of Halo 3, this is the game that I played probably just as much as Halo 3, and that's Halo Reach. Now, I don't know which one I like more, but I can tell you that I like this. This is my favorite game of 2010, and this is a year that gave us pretty damn good games too. I think it was Black Ops that came out this year too. Oh yeah, I did know that Sonic's soundtrack is copyright free. But yeah, so whenever I call anyone goon, that actually means, or when I say I'm a gooner, I actually am someone who is working for the Penguin. That's what I mean. But yeah, Halo Reach, a wonderful prequel, a great way to kind of change up the combat of the game. I did like that they had those like armor packs or whatever, so you can do different stuff. Campaign was a lot of fun. That's the one thing I started replaying, and I forgot how fun it was. The armor abilities are like the one thing I'm like, they could have done it better. Like, I hate that sprinting is locked behind one of the armor abilities. They fixed that in Halo, I think it's 4, where they made it where sprinting was just a thing in no matter what. But I feel like they were kind of testing the waters before 343 took over and went over to, like, yeah, here's what Halo's going to look like down the line. But yeah, Halo Reach, wonderful campaign, a lot of fun. A lot of great memories with it. Amazing multiplayer. Armor abilities are like the only negative I really have with this game. And now the obvious one for 2011. It's Mortal Kombat. If you knew me in 2011 or even 2010 when this game was announced at the not the Game Awards, it was just announced over the summer, and then they had it at E3, rest in peace. This game literally changed my life, and I am so sorry if you knew me growing up, because this was my whole identity. But the things that I love about this is that it got so many people I knew who hated fighting games to love fighting games. It's like the perfect, like, step. It's like the perfect, stepping stone for people getting into fighting games, because it's very beginner friendly, but at the same time it's very hard to master too. I see someone talking about Assassin's Creed in here. I did not play many of the games in the series. The only ones I played were Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I played 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, the Ezio trilogy. And then I played a little bit of 3, and I was bored because I wanted to know when I would play as Connor Kenway, and it took way too long in the opening. I backseat gamed with my friend while he was playing Black Flag, which is on my list to check out. Yeah, I've only played 3 of the Assassin's Creed games. I'm sorry that none of them are on there. They're on my list to check them out, though. But yeah, Mortal Kombat. Definitely revamped, like, saved the franchise, because honestly the last game that we had in the franchise was MK versus DC, and I remember playing that on Christmas and like, oh my god, this is fine. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, this is so good. I cannot wait to talk more about this next month when I do a fun anniversary video for it, because surprise, All Finishers Ranked is going to be covering Mortal Kombat 9 next. Hey, you're not allowed to say this on my Christian server. I actually have only played one of the DOA games too, so And I thought the combat and story were good. How about that? The 2 reasons. Yeah, Freddy Krueger was really good, but he was just like, he's surprisingly top tier from what I learned. Have a good one, Dark Cause. Thanks for coming to the stream tonight. Let me move on to 2012. This is a 3-way tie, honestly, where I could have made it one of 3. But let me explain my first one. And, of course, Cassidy had to guess correctly. My favorite Borderlands game, Borderlands 2. Borderlands is like one of the first looter shooters I ever played. I did play the first one. I thought it was good. And then I played the second one and I was like, oh my god, this is so much better. Yeah, that is the reason you can't get MK9 digitally anymore, is because the Craven Institute bought the rights back to Freddy Krueger in the United States. So like internationally, it's still weird how all that works. Feather Guardian learned. I put on Tekken music. Let's go. Batman, Arkham City, and MVC 3. Arkham City would definitely be my second place for best 2011 game. And then maybe MVC 3. MVC 3 was just, or not MVC 3. 2011 was just a really good year for games. No! Skyrim. That's another really good one. And I don't like RPGs that much. But yeah, Borderlands. This game I played with a lot of friends. I made friends playing this game. So I think that just screams a lot. I actually bought it, Borderlands 2 on a big sale so I can replay it again. It's been so long since I played it. But yeah, this game is so good. I have never played the DLCs, so now I get the opportunity to. So that's what I'm excited about. Yeah, Borderlands. I'm happy to hear that a lot of people love Borderlands in here. And then I feel like Borderlands 3 came out at a very interesting time. And then Borderlands 4, all I've heard is just mixed things. But the other two that I would tie for 2012 are Sleeping Dogs, a fun action game that I really need to play again. And then the second one is Dishonored. Thanks for coming, Comic Book King. And now moving on to 2013, the year that we ended up jumping into the next gen era, or the 8th gen now, with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. My favorite game is not of that new era, but someone put DMC in here, and this is close to DMC. Nanomachines, son. This is one of my favorite games of all time. When I tell people games they need to check out, this is always on the top of my list. I always tell them check out Metal Gear Rising. It's so good. And if you play it on Series X with the FPS and the FPS boost, the game runs so much faster and it's so pretty. This game's whole gimmick is that you have a sword that can cut through anything. So like you can literally slow down time, cut someone, and they'll like break into the lines that you cut. It's so smart. It's so beautiful. And all the boss fights are so good. Like the first fight, the first boss fight, you fight like a Metal Gear Ray, which is like a giant boss fight in one of the previous Metal Gear Solid games. And you literally pick it up and throw it, run up its wing, cut it in half and stuff like that. It's like, this is so cool. And the coolest part is, it's only the first boss in the first level of the game, and it's throwing all this and crazy stuff at you. It's like insane. Oh, history also just said it. Two things. This game coined so many good memes. Nanomachines, son, that I already said. The fact that someone says the memes a lot in the game is great. There's so many memorable moments in the whole game. Senator Armstrong, one of my favorite final bosses of all of video games. Just look up his speech on YouTube. and it's just something memorable. Also, and then history also said this too, the music. If you ever go to the gym and if you need to like, if you want to like feel like you're lifting like 100-pound dumbbells, swinging them around, just play Rules of Nature or Collective Consciousness from this game. The soundtrack is so good in this game. It's beautiful. And because of just how cool this character is, I wanted a sequel so badly, and I feel like it's never going to happen. And that's what makes me so sad, is that we're never going to get like a follow-up to this at all. But I'm going to hold my breath. That's like one of my most requested sequels of all time, is a Metal Gear Rising sequel. Yeah, exactly. This is pretty much future DMC. It's like a futuristic DMC. It's just so good. I don't want to spoil too much, but just check it out. Rules of Nature is so... Yeah, I remember that era. It was so cool. Yeah, hearing that, I'm like, oh my god, this person knows Metal Gear Rising. Yeah, I remember that when I was watching you back like in high school. It was awesome. And then what's next on my list? It's 2014. Oh, to make it simple for this list, because I know this is an era where like games will have seasons, or they like introduce like free to play games and they're just like multiplayer only. I'm only going to be looking at like full releases moving forward. So 2013, if I could be realistic, between 2013 and 2017, I could have done Killer Instinct on Xbox One, but because Season 1 launched in 2013 and it's not the same game as it is now because they added like 20 goddamn characters since the game started, I'm not counting that. But I will say Killer Instinct is one of my favorite video games of all time, but I couldn't put it on this list. But I will say this is another surprise on 2014. Do they have the Yeah, they do. Strider. This is one of those times that Capcom has outsourced a game and it didn't fail in the end. Strider, I played the original. My grandmother had a Sega Genesis in her basement, which is how I got introduced to some of the Sonic the Hedgehog games. She also had Strider, in which that was awesome. So when I found out that Capcom was like, hey, Double Helix, the devs that were working on Season 1 of Killer Instinct, was doing a Strider reboot, I lost it. And it's a fun, arcadey feeling game. It's like $15, definitely worth it. So much fun. You can try and speed run the whole game. You actually get a challenge if you finish it under a set number of time, like in a set time. But it's so good. Just check out Strider if you can. It's on PS4 and Xbox One. I did see a few comments. I'm going to go through here. Uncommon Oddity. This is called topsters.org. This is what this website is. But yeah. I'm kind of upset that MK1 got cut short. I think that Invincible was supposed to become a cameo. I heard rumors that we were supposed to have like Chucky as one, but I don't know what's true when it comes to that data. We'll have to wait later and find out what happened. What are your thoughts on the Transformers games? I've actually never really consumed anything Transformers outside of the Michael Bay verse, and that was kind of a dumb thing for me to say, that my only knowledge of Transformers is from like the robots that say sort of racist stuff. But I have wanted to check out the Transformers games at least, like Fall of Cybertron or something. It's on my list to check those out. Now moving on to 2015. Once again, if you knew me in this era, I'm so sorry. Mortal Kombat X. Similar to MK9, this had the same vibe and same energy. And this is also the era that I had considered wanting to get into content creation, but I was so busy with so much stuff as a kid because I was like learning how to like trying to balance life. I was still like graduating college. I was still graduating high school. And just doing too much at that point. But then ended up picking up content creation in college. Yeah, I know. This is when I started watching the hell out of you, dude. This MKX era, it was awesome. MKX was like, I hate to say it, I feel like MKX was like the last the last game where the entire MK community like came together in like harmony. Because now like with MK11 it was divided, and then MK1 people were like, oh my god, this is Like, people love to hate MK1, unfortunately. Yeah, MKX was so good. And this is another one of those games that so many people got into fighting games because I was introducing them to Mortal Kombat, so this is like their introduction to fighting games. Still has one of my favorite gameplay hooks being the variation system, which I hope in the next Mortal Kombat, if it does ever happen, I hope that's what they go with, is the variation system. Yeah, it is the era that they took the game seriously. Like, very seriously, because MK9's story was very fan servicey, and then this is where it's like, okay, now we have to like build on the story more. Yeah, I was gonna say MKX is definitely the era where like I started to learn more content creators. Like, I learned who Dynasty was, Super, then there was I don't think he does content anymore, but there's like J-Roar at one point. But yeah, there's like all these guys that I remember watching. Yeah, it was such an era. And then they ended up adding like really cool DLC packs. Like, they had the horror theme with it. It was awesome. That's what I thought was great. No, I had no honestly, my only complaint really with this game is that like the art style is really ugly and the pacing of the story is pretty rough. But hell of a game. I love it. Now moving on to 2016. This is yeah, I don't know what Jay does anymore. I remember I tried looking up his channel and I couldn't find anything. I thought it was like deleted or something. You know, that's crazy. We just like, I feel like we just felt like a sleeper agent just waking up hearing words and we're like, or whatever. Now my favorite game of 2016. Doom. Wait, hang on a second. You said you were gonna give me a cough drop? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Quantum Dreams. Yeah, everyone loved MK9 because I think it was like, we thought the franchise was dead and it was a celebration of the series. Then MKX was like a fun continuation. MK11 got into, we got to do a franchise restart, and then Mortal Kombat 1, it could have stood on its own, honestly, where it was like, we could have done something like, yeah, here's a new era where we're creating our own thing. 90% of the game was that, and then the final chapter is, hey, we're doing some multiverse stuff, and I'm like, why are they doing this? And I was so upset. Yeah, but anyway, Doom. Speaking about revival with MK9, we have another revival with Doom. This game is so good. I replayed it recently and it still holds up. Funny enough, I gave my dad my old Xbox for his birthday recently, and one of the games I gave him was Doom 2016, because my dad was actually backseat gaming Doom to me when I was playing it with him a long time ago, because he played the original and then he loves the new one. But yeah, Doom is so good. If you've never played the Doom reboot, do it. I got a question. Is NetherRealm different from Midway, or is it rebranded into NetherRealm Studios? Yes, they were rebranded after WB Games bought Midway after they filed for bankruptcy, and then they renamed themselves as NetherRealm Studios. So it's a lot of the same old team still there, at least. Yeah, Doom, one of my favorite FPSs of all time. Not my favorite FPS of all time, but just awesome as hell. And then moving on to 2017, this is where I got into more indie games. But, Cuphead. My brother and I played the hell out of this game together. It's so dreadful. It's hard. But damn it, do you feel like you accomplished something when you finish this game. The art style, the music is just so beautiful. Hi Nunu, thank you so much. Appreciate it a ton. Yeah, Cuphead is just so fun. I love the animation style. I love the music. And I love how it's just a fun throwback to like those classic run and gun games. Once again, I replayed this game because I got the Delicious Last Course DLC recently. And it still holds up. Yes, Doom, this was a restart to people loving Doom, because the last Doom game we had was 3, and people did not love 3. And then apparently it was supposed to be a continuation and be called like Doom 4, but it was in development hell for like 12 years, and they're like, let's just do a soft reboot instead. Yeah, it was crazy what happened with Doom. There's a really good video about that Matt McMuscles did, which you should check out. I just realized my Spotify's just been playing banger after banger after banger. Moving on to 2018. The first Monster Hunter game I ever played, and the one that I had the most fun with. I never played the series before. I was hanging out at a friend's place in college, and he was playing the hell out of it for hours. And originally it was like, alright, I'm going to finish this hunt, and then we can all just like party or whatever. He didn't finish that hunt in time, and we all just sat around the TV and just watched him play for a while. And then that got me hooked. I'm like, I need to play this game. I did. I love it. And then it got me excited to play Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, and then Wilds, which Wilds is okay, but it was fun that Rain and I finally got to play a Monster Hunter game together, so that was awesome. Yeah, this game is so fun. How the tracking works, the combat, how you have to like learn how to set traps or use nature as an advantage to get your monster. It's so good. And then moving on to 2019. Many people are going to be surprised by this one, but it's not Mortal Kombat 11. It's actually going to be Resident Evil 2 remake. I was considering removing remakes, but I won't do ports. Like if it gets ported to something else, I'm not going to count that. Or deluxe remaster. So for an example, I'm not going to have like Dead Rising, then the deluxe remaster, because they're pretty much the same game. But because it completely changes the gameplay, the story is tweaked a bit, and how everything's portrayed, I am counting a remake at least here. But one of the first Resident Evil games I played 5 before this one. I didn't play 5 for long. I don't have a lot of history behind it. I don't have a lot of history behind that warrior of a video game. But 2 remake is what got me to love the franchise and fall in love with it. And I just love the zapping system where like you can play 2 characters and like the scenarios are different. And the fact that if you go through a second playthrough, you actually get a bunch of different stuff, and then it does the same thing for the other person, then you get like the true ending. I just thought that all of that was a lot of fun. A great way to, I'm sorry, I had to make the dumb joke, their history behind the warrior. You got to know me now. Yeah, Resident Evil 2, so good. If you haven't played it, check it out. It's amazing. I know a lot of people are just excited that, oh, he didn't include MK11 on here. Good. I'm like this. Sorry. I'm not. Yeah, I was just, what website are you using? This is Topsters. Let me throw it in the chat. So if you guys want to throw your recommendations in here, like, whatever, that'd be fun. But yeah, Resident Evil 2, it's amazing. If you haven't played it, check it out. Now this is gonna get interesting because 2020 is a year that I didn't really play too many new games. Yeah, I didn't play too many new games at all in 2020. I literally just bought one and stuck with it. But this is the one that got me through some tough times. This is how you upgrade Doom. This is honestly the best I'd say this is the best modern Doom game. Like the fact that you have the meat hook, it's so good. Yeah, this is Throw It All Away from Sonic. No, this is not Throw It All Away. This is Rhythm and Balance from the White Jungle stage. Yeah, Doom Eternal, so good. It just takes everything that Doom did so well and just improves on it. Faster pace. You have a meat hook so you can swing around on your shotgun. And I like that it forces you to like switch your weapons, because the other one, everyone just relied on the super shotgun. But the fact that this game makes it where like, oh yeah, enemies are weak to this, enemies are weak to this, so you have to switch your weapons on the fly. It encourages you to use your entire arsenal, which is awesome. And they actually did a little bit with the story, which I thought they did a much better job with it in this one. It also has my favorite final line before the kill, which is when you're about to finish the final boss, and he's like, tell me, do you have nothing to say to your creator before you strike him down? You pull out your blade out your arm, stab him right in the chest, pull him to you, and you just go, no. And then that's it. That's your final line. One of the only lines your character says is no. And it's so good. But anyway, Doom Eternal, goated game. I love it. Definitely my favorite game of 2020. Then moving on to 2021. This is another hidden gem that I wish more people played. And watching Rain play this recently, it was such a fun treat. Because I forgot how good this game was, and I was just sad that no one played it. But Guardians of the Galaxy. You literally just, it's like Final Fantasy 15 where you have your friends kind of command them around and whatnot. But it's the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's a very good story. Everyone's portrayed so well in this story. I was so invested in everything that happened, and I like that your choices actually have they make a point in the story, like they matter. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, if you haven't played it, I would say hurry up and get this before this does get delisted. That's the only thing I'm going to say. You should get this before it gets delisted. Because the Avengers game you can't buy anywhere anymore. And then because of how much the Avengers game failed and this game failed financially, the deal with Square Enix and Marvel fell apart. And I feel like that this game might be delisted next, so be careful. And I'd consider trying to get that. One of my friends actually bought me the Avengers game. Yeah, there were a lot of good Marvel games that came out, like Spider-Man. The first one was pretty good. And then we had, I'm trying to think of what else came out around that time. Oh, Spider-Man Miles Morales. That was also pretty good. And then the Avengers game. I actually bought Midnight Suns on a big sale. I actually need to play that still. I feel like this is like the era where like Avengers kind of put like a sour taste in everyone's mouth about Marvel games for a while. No, Avengers is delisted. They announced it was going to go offline. Like, you can still play the game if you have the disc, but you can't buy a digital version of the game anymore. That's just modern gaming, though, and that's sad. Oh, this is rough because there are no games I know that... I have to actually look this up real quick. When did this one specific game come out? Okay. I know people would expect me to say that, like, oh, your favorite game of 2022. It's gonna be something like, I don't know, Elden Ring that came out that year. No, it's not that. No, it's not Multiverses. I will say it's not Multiverses. I'd say tied for this is TMNT Shredder's Revenge, because I didn't play too many games that came out in 2022. I did play this, though, and I'm... Speaking of delisted games... This is where my bias is really showing. I just love Evil Dead so much. I literally did this for Bruce Campbell himself. We were born in the same state. This guy's great. He's legendary. Sonic Frontiers, that's another good one that came out that year. I didn't love it a whole lot. I think I liked Evil Dead more. I was just in a very Evil Dead kick. Yeah, I'd say not a whole lot to say about it when it's just Evil Dead the game is pretty much Dead by Daylight, but you can fight back. And the fact that you get to equip the chainsaw hand, and it's the one game that I get to play as Ash Williams. Sad that he wasn't in Mortal Kombat 11. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's dumb fun. This game is dumb fun. But do you know what isn't dumb fun, but is just amazing fun? My favorite game of 2023. Resident Evil 4 remake. Yeah, this game is just so fun. I did not play the original Resident Evil 4. But this is definitely one of those ones where I'm like, now I want to play the original so badly. Yeah, this is definitely one of those ones. I don't want to say a whole lot. It's just, it's so fun. That's all I gotta really say about this one. I recommend that you check this one out if you have not. It is so good. And then moving on to closer years, we're going on to 2024, and then 25, and then 6. Now this is going to be a little easy. Speaking of licensed games that I did not think were going to be good, but this one was. It blew it out of the water. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I loved this game so much. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. I love the adventure to it. The combat's pretty fun. And I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan. I had only watched the first one before playing this because it takes place between Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Last Crusade. So it's like, I'm not spoiling myself at all. You've never played Indiana Jones? It's so good. Yeah, Indiana Jones came out towards the end of 2024. It was an Xbox exclusive at first. That was why. But yeah, Indiana Jones, beautiful. The acting is great. Everything about this game is just so good at what it's trying to do. I see Peyton's like they're surprised that I only have 2 MK games on here. Yeah, I know. As much as I love the Mortal Kombat games, they're not my favorite. Not all of them are my favorite games of every year. This just kind of shows that, like, as much as I love the MK series, it just shows that I appreciate so many other titles too. Yeah, Troy Baker was Indiana Jones, and the story behind him getting the role. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. Like, I remember seeing like an ad on YouTube, and it said available now, and I'm like, oh wait, this came out? Yeah, so I didn't even know when it came out until I saw like a YouTube ad for it. Which, check it out. If you have the storage space, it's like 120 gigs or something like that. It's crazy. But yeah, Troy Baker was the Indiana Jones in this game. Funny story about him. He actually sent an audition tape to the person who was doing the game casting, and he sent clips of the movie to him, but he dubbed over Harrison Ford, and they had a hard time telling that. Crazy enough, I actually didn't own a PlayStation growing up, so I only played Spider-Man for the first time recently with my girlfriend, because she has a PS5 and I'm an Xbox. Yeah, it's a Romeo Juliet kind of case here. We're like two different sides of a faction coming together. Isn't that interesting? Now moving on to my favorite game of 2025. Far from being my favorite Doom game in this new Doom trilogy, but it's still so good. I do like that they went with like the medieval approach. Everything looks dark, grody. I like that you have like a shield that you can throw at them like Captain America, but it's still your chainsaw. The game's very parry based, so if you can parry really good like in a Third Strike, you'll have no problem with this game. Yeah, rest in peace Tony Todd. That was one of his last performances was Indiana Jones. And they did make a nice little tribute to him at one point. And then his last role ever was Final Destination Bloodlines. Yeah, Doom Dark Ages, phenomenal. I really liked it, and I can't wait for the DLC to come out soon. And then to wrap this up, my current favorite game of 2026 is looking at Doom. Yeah, I do love it. Yeah, it's very much Eldritch horror, and I love it. Like how creepy everything looks. Like the bone spires, how like the blood swamps and all of that. It's so good. I loved it, and then I actually bought my brother because he was like, the only reason I ever want to get a next gen console is just so I can play Doom Eternal or Doom Dark Ages. So I literally bought my brother a next gen console and Doom Dark Ages just so we could play it. That was his Christmas gift this year that I got him. Do you ever play Souls-like games? I've played the first two Dark Souls games. I hate the combat in those games. I have wanted to check out Elden Ring. It's not a skill issue. I just don't like the combat in Dark Souls. That's just my thing. Souls-like games, like I did play Jedi Fallen Order, and I loved that. But yeah, Dark Souls, not my favorite, honestly. And then my favorite game of this year so far, shock to no one. I butchered the spelling of that. Is it just 9? Oh. Resident Evil Requiem. It's either going to be Resident Evil Requiem or the only other games I've played, one that is coming out soon, so I can't put it on because it's not out yet. It's 2XKO, which I didn't love, honestly. I thought it was okay. And then Invincible Versus. I got to play... I did get to play the closed beta for Invincible Versus, and I thought the game was amazing. I loved it, but it's not out yet. Resident Evil 9, though, is in my top 5 games of all time. I will say that. It does a perfect blend of action and horror, and it does it in such a perfect way where you play as Grace, which is like the horror elements, and then you get to the Leon parts, and that's where it feels like that's the action parts. And what I like is, I was concerned at the very beginning because you play as Grace for a lot and they play as Leon for a little bit, then Grace and then Leon for a little bit. And I was concerned like, oh, is this going to be like the Halo 5 incident where you play as Locke for a lot and you play as Master Chief, Locke for a lot, then a little bit of Master Chief, and then Locke, and then the game's done and you barely play as Master Chief. No, they balance it out so well. I was concerned at the beginning, and then it really saved, and it really came together at the end. Yeah, Resident Evil is so good. I do want to start a second playthrough soon. I know history just said that it's has a lot of replay value, and I really want to get into it. I actually didn't play Resident Evil 6, but I have heard people make the comparisons. One of my good friends who's a giant Resident Evil fan made that comparison. Oh geez, I'm sorry to remind you of Halo 5. My apologies. I have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. I have returned. That was a Crash song that you were hearing, Feather Guardian. It was Cortex's theme. Yeah, I replayed Halo 5. It's I do remember getting it for the marketing, and then I ended up was like, oh, this game is not that great. And then I ended up giving it, I let my friend borrow it because he didn't want to buy it. And then my friend, who was the biggest Halo fan I knew at the time, he was like, oh god, like, what did they do to this game? And he was disappointed. And I'm like, I'm so happy you didn't buy it then. I would have felt terrible if I made you buy it too. Yeah, the Warden fights were boring. The fact that, like, there were so many of them they threw at you. And that's, like, the big boss fight. I hated that. But yeah. But here we are. The top 28 games from every year I've been alive. I'm going to take a screenshot of this too. I do like Ben Reilly. I almost went as that Spider-Man for a convention I went to. It is Ryu's theme that you're hearing too. But yeah. So if any of you guys want to make a fun Topsters list, it's Topsters. That's it. But I'm going to pause the music. And I guess what I'll get at is it's been a long stream. It's been 3.5 hours, and all I want to say is thank you for just being an awesome community in general. I am just feeling low energy because I'm very sick at the moment right now, as you can tell. But I like doing all this content for you guys. I love doing it, so you guys make it a whole lot of fun. Be on the lookout for more content that I have coming out very soon. Coming out very soon. I have Rain reacting to the Mortal Kombat 11 finishers. It's been a little bit of a wild ride because they're pretty violent, and Rain has a hard case with violence. But as I had kind of spoiled already, as I had spoiled in here, the next big ranking I'm doing is all 73 fatalities from Mortal Kombat 9 ranked from worst to best to celebrate its 15th anniversary. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Stay tuned for updates on that. That'll be exciting. That'll be a long one to get through, but it'll be fun and worth it at the end. I see a lot of messages coming in here saying happy birthday and stuff. Thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to enjoy having my work day off tomorrow, and I could just enjoy my birthday with my family and friends. I wanted to at least enjoy today with the amazing community that I do have. So thank you all so much for being amazing. If you enjoy this stream, consider dropping a like. If you want to see me stream more, let me know. I'd love to do that more often. But yeah, have a wonderful rest of your evening, everyone. Hope everyone feels well, especially with the allergy season kicking in. Y'all are amazing. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Have a good one, all. I think so.